Hello, my viewers, and welcome to my stream. Today, we're gonna play some Fallout 4. Hello, Winter. How you doing? We are joined by Fred in the red mask, Deadpool. We're joined by Donovan in the white lab coat. Winter, of course, you all know Susan Winters, the synth from the Commonwealth. And finally, our new addition to the team, Ada. Now, we don't know Ada that well, but I imagine we'll get to know her slowly over time. So, what are we going to do today? Let me see. So we have been exploring the main areas of the Commonwealth and slowly kind of branching out from locations. We have not cleared most of this, and I feel like we should try to clear some of this. What in oblivion was that? Was that my phone? So apparently Elon Musk doesn't like what Trump's been doing. Congratulations, I need to know that. Alright, so we're probably going to... Well, God, now I'm in kind of a predicament, actually. What I could do is we can go and start clearing all these locations, like getting it so it says cleared, you know what I mean? Or we can find the rest of the locations. I feel like what we should do is start focusing on clearing locations. Because, like, if you go over here, everything's kind of cleared out for the most part. So we know that there's no more raiders or anything else to do there. Once it's cleared, there's nothing else to do. If it's not cleared, people will move in. It'll start becoming a mess all over again. So, let's see. Lexington Apartments. I guess we could start with Lexington. Let's go to Lexington. So, what do I want to talk about today? Gee, I do wonder. This morning was an interesting morning. I woke up, I lived, I got bored, I watched some YouTube shorts. YouTube shorts kind of cured the boredom for a spell. And then I found myself watching lots of cute little spider videos. You know, I don't really think spiders are supposed to be cute. But there was these women on YouTube shorts. I guess that's the way to kind of summarize it. Will you all calm down? Jeez, I just picked up a can. Okay. Anyway, there's all these women on the YouTube short section that have been keeping little pet jumping spiders as pets. And apparently, they have found a way to make jumping spiders cute. When I say cute, I mean they run around, they scramble, they jump, the woman catches the web. It's like a yo-yo now somehow. And overall, the spider doesn't seem as intimidating as spiders normally do. I don't like spiders very much. Yes, it's true. I'm racist against spiders. I don't like spiders. I think they're creepy. But for the first time in a long time, I watched these videos. I'm like, you know, doesn't seem so bad.
This location appears secure. Hello, sir.
Thank you, Ada. Let's see. I don't know why I pick up all the miscellaneous crap. We don't need everything. We just need the Rad X and the glue. If it's glue, we should pick it up. Why is there a whole body? There's a whole entire skeleton inside this jar. Do I even want to know what's going on? The soap is good for oil. We need oil, adhesive, and screws. Oh, an overdue book. Actually, that reminds me, the overdue books were pointless. Alcohol and cigarettes are worth money, too. Anyway. Yeah, I was watching YouTube shorts, and that was what I was watching. It was actually mildly entertaining. It wasn't anything too crazy. And then I saw a bunch of cat videos. Got me thinking about Max. I miss Max. I hope wherever he is, he's doing well. That being said, then I started getting bored with watching YouTube Shorts. All the while in the background, Grogu and etc., I guess the best way to put it, were watching Horton Hears a Who on YouTube, because apparently you can watch movies on YouTube in full now. And they were entertaining for the day, so I didn't have to babysit or nothing. I have a little green alien. The FBI is completely aware that I have an alien. They don't seem to care too much. The CIA, that's a different story. Oh, lag. Well, Grogu was watching the movie. I don't know how it turned on. It looks like he turned it on by himself. But who am I to complain about that? At this point in time, if they want to watch a movie, fine. Just, don't break the frickin' Xbox. I think we've been down here already because that body was already looted. And this is already open. Yeah, I think we were already down here at one point. Somehow we ended up farther away from our point of where we're trying to go. Anyway, as they were watching Horton Hears a Who, and I'm over here scrolling through YouTube, I kind of started really doing some thinking about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I know, it's like, you go from watching YouTube to think about the rest of what you want to do with the rest of your life. How do those two things correlate? How they get tied together, right? Well, the reality is I've been watching YouTube videos, and a lot of what people are talking about is how you need to try and leave your mark on the world. I don't really know what my mark on the world's going to be, nor do I think I'll even have one. I am not saying that my life is literally existentially pointless. I'm just saying, like, right now, at this point in time, how do I word this? There's not a whole lot really going on in my life. And people have kind of, it's either going to be kick or bone. So it's bone. Protection on control. Choose personality mode. Law enforcement. Actually, construction worker. We don't need to turn that on, actually. I think that with my life, there's not really a whole lot really going on. Like, part of me wants to make it big on YouTube. I know. Everyone wants to get big on YouTube. Welcome to the club. But, like, it's simple. I enjoy it. I like streaming video games. But on another note entirely, I feel like there's more that I could do. Like, go out there, work a 9-to-5 job, find a beautiful woman, raise a family. There's nothing wrong with wanting that either. It's like we're all humans. The human experience is tied to being around other people and having things to do. I mean, after a while, sitting around doing nothing would get old for anybody. And I hate to say this, as much as I love YouTube, sitting around doing YouTube isn't doing very much. Realistically, you're not doing very much when you do YouTube. So, like, well, I mean, as much as these videos might, and I say might because that is the key word there, right? As much as these videos might appeal to somebody, even if it's just me, realistically, there's nothing really leave behind. YouTube channels have come and gone 3 times in my life because people just suck. People have attacked me for having an opinion. Welcome to 2020s. This entire decade is going to be known for people attacking people over opinions. The soft, fragile ego of people. You know what I mean? And that being what it is, what do you take away from that? I've noticed that really you don't take away very much. I mean, we sit here, we make videos, and we try to appeal to what we like to do.
You be sure to let me know.
I'll let you all know, I swear to God. Appealing to what we like to do is one thing, but
Let me have this one.
humans like to succeed. You can't succeed if you don't have any real challenge. YouTube isn't a challenge. I mean, sure, you can get big in views, but, like, how far does that actually go? I'm not trying to tear down the YouTube experience either. I'm just suggesting that there's more to life than just this. You can do this too, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying I'm not pursuing those thoughts of what I could do with my off time. I'm just saying, like, that's what people think about. Because everyone wants to succeed and be happy. A mop in the trash can. Interesting. So we find ourselves kind of just thinking about, how could I amplify this? How could I turn this into a place where I can get some recognition? I mean, that's really what it's all about, right? I mean, if you think about what people have been like and what people have pursued and what people have wanted,
That takes care of
normally people want a certain level of success. People want a certain level of something to remind them that they have left their mark on the world. I mean, it's a morbid thought, but a lot of people are aware that in the end they don't really matter that much. And I guess the more you don't do stuff to leave that mark, the more you don't really matter. I mean, it's kind of sad. Thinking your whole life there'll be nothing you'll do to be remembered for. I mean, I could sit here and dump on my dog shit family all day long. I could talk about how trolls destroyed most of the things that I had going on. I could talk about, you know, asshole. Okay, I guess that works. I could talk about how, you know, life has been unfair because people just destroyed so much because they were like just a bunch of scumbags. Because really that is what it boils down to. People were scummy. They didn't like me as a person, so they sought to destroy my life. Maybe we should stop firing guns inside of the back areas because there's really gasoline everywhere. But see, what's the point in talking about those things if nobody cares? I mean, realistically, does anyone care? Like, I've been talking about what Troll's been doing for a couple of years now, with evidence and proof to back it up. And God damn it, Donovan. Winner?
I'd be happy to.
Just take the stuff. And what I've noticed about the whole conversation as a whole is that in the end, nobody really cares. Like, it's a lot of talk, I guess, the best way to put it.
Help if I can. Yes, sir.
Never mind, Donovan. Fred, I need your help. I mean, that is really what it boils down to. Is I could sit here and scream to the heavens all day long. I'm not giving him the jet. Fuck that. There was too much work into that. But if no one's ever listening, am I wasting my time? Maybe I could do other things with YouTube. Maybe I could become like a guy who does something in real life and I teach you how to do it in your own life. Problem with that is that trolls have constantly sought to destroy me because apparently I said too much about what they were doing with children. And, you know, that's a constant conversation here. Maybe it's for the best that we don't have that conversation anymore. Because, again, if you really all cared about stopping pedophiles, why aren't you stopping them? It's a massive predator group on the YouTube platform, and nobody is doing anything. Because, oh, but they're trolls, therefore it's okay to diddle the kiddle. Okay. Let's assume that to be true. then EDP 445 should be allowed to do whatever he wants with little girls. Onision should never had any criticism of any kind. If trolls can get away with it, everyone else can too. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying if there's going to be exceptions, those exceptions go all around the board. And just because you scream pedo doesn't mean it's true. That's another problem too. Because then everybody's like, oh, well then, you know, they're all liars. Like, they'll hate the person being lied about religiously. But then you think about it, right? No one listens to that person, and they had a point, so you've actively let somebody get away with it. But then the people who actually are guilty, they never get criticized to begin with either. It's like they lied about you to hide what they were doing. Here's all the evidence, black and white. I mean, you know, I can't help but notice that. When it comes to trolls, they never actually show anything. It's all a bunch of doohickey, I guess. I say doohickey nowadays because it's just the only thing I can say without getting flagged for using inappropriate language. I mean, realistically, hey D-Chat, I see you in the chat. How you doing, bro? Actually, that reminds me. Oh! Nightbot's already here, never mind. I was going to go make sure Nightbot was working. They've just been quiet for the last few minutes. Yep, it all works. Maybe I can make the 07 thing a command. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, I feel like if you're going to say trolls can get away with it, or can turn a blind eye because they're trolls, which is what most people are doing, then Onision shouldn't be held accountable. EDP 445 should not be held accountable. Nobody should be held accountable. In fact, pedos should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. Because that's what people are suggesting. Oh, we're going to pretend this isn't going on, or we're just going to turn a blind eye to it. Nobody wants to reach out to predator catchers and say, hey, this is Tibbs guy on the internet, and people are saying things about him, but you should see what the trolls who target him are doing. Nobody? Not a single person is going to even remotely try to raise awareness on this? Nobody? Like, I can only do so much. And I feel like that's the problem with talking about it, is it's become a waste of our time, because how long am I going to want to beat this dead horse? I have a baseball bat, and I have been beating a dead horse repeatedly for 3 years. We're trying to raise awareness on this. Not after a while, the more time goes by, the more I want to just tune out. Because I can only do so much with it. You know, like, I'm not going to be the only one who gives a crap. And if I am, why am I the only one who gives a crap? Like, why are not more people concerned? And that's where I find myself kind of realizing that this YouTube thing has become absolute stupidity. I mean, at this point in time, it's just dumb. Like, let them diddle kids. Let them. You know why? Because I tried to stop that for 3 years, and all of you found excuses why it was okay. And yes, that does religiously piss me off. Because I see so many fake YouTubers now. In fact, I don't respect the YouTube platform as much as I used to, because everywhere I go, everyone's fake. All these people, all these YouTube channels are all centered around catching predators. You finally have a predator clan, an entire group of predators operating on YouTube. And what does JD Delay fucking do? I don't want to deal with that. Literally, I finally got a response from JD Delay in private. And it was from his manager saying, we don't actually hunt predators or expose them. We just cover what's big in the news. That's it. We do it for... Basically, he only does what he does for clicks and views. And... not gonna lie. I kind of had a feeling. I had a feeling JD Delay was fake. But to hear it from his manager... or I guess it was his manager, I don't know, somebody from his shop, somebody that he works with on the YouTube, basically called him out and said, yeah, Jay DeLay doesn't actually stop predators. He just talks about what's going on in the news. So he's not actually trying to put people in the wood chipper. He's fake. Jay DeLay, 5150. He's fake. And that... Why am I not surprised? But everywhere I go, I look at YouTubers, and I'm seeing all these... I'm on YouTube, so I'm surrounded by YouTubers, right? We already were in here. And they're all fake. Every single YouTuber is fake. Nobody's sincere. Nobody actually means half the crap they spew. And I'm sitting here... This is why nobody wanted to do anything about it, because everybody's two-faced and fake. Okay, I didn't mean to sit on the couch, but alright. I can't do that either. Okay, fine. It's just whatever at this point. I mean, why would you want to expose anybody anymore? Why would you want to keep fighting it? And now the trolls aren't even trying to attack anyone. They used to attack me because they were mad they were getting called out. Now they attack me because they found out they can make a lot of money doing it. That's angry that my life is actively a show for people who want to destroy my life. They can make all this money attacking me online and making fun of me and telling me to off myself. My life has more value than that. But to hear that they don't even care about getting caught, that's the thing, is they know nobody's going to stand up to them. Because everyone in the UK is pretty much scum at this point. Everyone in Russia hates me because... And it's funny, the people in Russia who hate me, I don't even understand why they hate me. Because for the last 3 years, I was called an evil human being because I supported Russia and did not support Ukraine. So now you have all these people from Russia attacking my name and my image. They call it trolling, but it is still harassment, right? And they're attacking my name and my image because I supported them. Then fuck Russia. Fuck Russia. Fuck Ukraine too, for that matter. Because honestly, if I'm going to like sit there and, you know, say the Russian people don't deserve to be harassed, I'm not going to sit here while some cock-sucking fucking Russian shows up and decides my life is worth destroying. I was doxxed 3 times yesterday by a fucking Russian. You know what? Fuck Russia. I hope Ukraine and Russia go out the window. I really fucking do. Fuck them both. Because at that point in time, why the hell would I sit here and try to be the nice guy and say, you know, innocent people don't deserve to be hurt, but those same innocent people treat you like crap? Fine. Fine. Where's the fucking napalm flamethrowing? You need it. Hey, Putin, maybe instead of attacking Ukraine, aim it at your own people. Oh, that's right. That's apparently what you do. Like, I don't fucking get it. I really don't fucking get it. So now I've also learned that no matter what you do, people are going to suck. All around the board. People do not deserve to be treated with respect or dignity or kindness. In fact, human rights. We have a communist Russian trying to dox me. And that actually... Well, here's the thing. He's also a complete moron because the doxes he's using are so old it's not even funny. But is that all Russians are good for? Is being crapped on? Because they don't give us anything else to give them respect for. And I sat here like a fucking moron saying innocent people don't deserve what's happening to them over there in Russia right now. We're over here removing all Russian assets so they can't get any money. And I'm sitting here like, that's not cool, man. They're people. Trying to make a business like you and I. And in the end, he realized they're so fucking communist over there, they actually deserve to starve. Fucking India deserves more food than they have. And India, I don't even get me started about India. India's had problems for years. Like just relentless problems for years. And I don't think what happens to India is right either. But realistically, maybe we should take everything from the Russian people and from the Ukrainian people, because Ukrainian people are just as problematic, right? And give it to India. But then people find a reason to screw that up too. You know, we've had a lot of people in our live chats over the years. A lot. And you know what I noticed to be the most interesting piece of information? The most interesting piece of information. Sermons. Nothing in common. That means this would not work because that starts with an S just like sermons. This has an E that's the second letter, just like sermons. This ends in S like sermons. This ends its contact. I was going to say, where is it? Anyway, we've had a lot of people in our chats over the years. An exceptional amount. And what I find interesting is the Indian people, when they're in here, are very kind and respectful people. The same thing with the Chinese. We've never had a Chinese a-hole in our chats, ever once. Black people, I've never met a decent one. I don't know why. Black people just do not have any self-control when it comes to being decent. They just have to say the most rude and disgusting things humanly unimaginable every time they're in here. Now, does that mean all black people are bad? No, of course not. I think that after a point, maybe, you know... How do I word this? After a point, maybe we'll find one who's decent, right? We haven't had that experience. I'm like, there's a lot of people that have no self-control. Nobody who knows how to act like a civilized, mature adult when it comes to black people. Now, to be fair, a lot of trolls pretend to be black. I don't understand the reasoning for that. But I will note, without a shadow of a doubt, hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. The mother load just hit. Where's my cup at? Whatever, I'm trying to light a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think when it comes to black people, I don't understand why they have to act so rude. What's insane is I know a few black people, and they're very polite. So why are black people online so awful? I know we have a lot of trolls that pretend to be black, so you can't count all of them as black people. Because sometimes it's just a troll, and that's why they're spewing the N-word nonstop and acting like cuh. What's up, cuh? Like, no fucking normal person talks like that. But you have these people in our chats writing out the words C-U-H like they're trying to be gangsta. You're not gangster because you sound ignorant. You know what I mean? But they're also pretending to be black when they're not. So I understand that not every black person who shows up in our chat is actually black. But at the same time, we do have a lot of people that have channels attached to their accounts. And running those videos is a black guy. And they're almost always looking for clout. Like, get an actual job. Or, I don't know, have some self-respect. Maybe clean your ass up. Pull your pants up so it's not sagging behind you. Because people who sag take dick up the ass. That's why people do it in prison. You look like a moron. And what I find to be extremely irritating is that if you're not going to do any of those things, if you're going to sag your pants, not have a job, and, you know, act like a degenerate member of society, at least be respectful when you're in here. Because every fucking time, that's why racism exists. Because an entire race of people has earned a certain opinion. And by the way, I don't support racism, because racism usually boils down to discrimination. Judging people for what they look like. I don't support that. But The reason why racism exists is because people often, as a group, as a community, as a race of people, will earn a certain reputation based on how they behave. Black people, the ghetto isn't doing you any favors, and BLM didn't do you any favors either. And I feel like when they come into our chat saying some of the shit they say, like some of it is just ignorance, and some of it's just being a dick. But like we do look at the channels behind the people who comment sometimes. Recently we found out one of them is Russian. And he's apparently a very proud troll. What kind of loser finds himself to be a successful person in society, or at least meaningful to society in some capacity, for being a troll? Trolls are almost always ignorant fucking morons who have no actual place in life. They're just people that don't deserve to even exist. Because most of the time they're degenerate cockstains that just act like a bunch of morons. That's all trolls do. And you're proud to be a troll? You know? That's fucking pathetic. When I troll people, I'm not proud of that. You know why? Because I'd rather be having a good time and growing as a person. But like, I think what my point is that India has been nothing but respectful when they've been here. And you know they're from India because their channels have Indian people, or Middle Eastern, however it's supposed to be said, on their channels. If not, they actually speak the language. And mind you, I don't know how to read Indian, okay? But Google Translate's been a godsend over the years. I'm trying to figure out how we clear this area. But what I find really interesting is that when people from the Middle East are over here in our channel, in our chats, they are nice, they're kind, they act. It's weird because you wouldn't think India is a horrible place based on what we've seen, right? And what I don't understand is, how are there people so kind? Maybe people that live in that environment learn to value the little things and learn to care about things because, mind you, they have no reason to give a shit about people. They have no reason to be nice. Based on what I've seen, that could be American propaganda, though, for all we know. Because do you think the United States is really telling you the truth about what happens overseas? Especially if it's not in their best interest to do so? Hell no, of course not. Remember, warmongers are a thing. They want to make as much money by making things look like we need to be shooting things as much as possible. The United States is not a good place. I have never, ever understood why the United States is so vile and toxic and why they spread so much misinformation. But all in all, you would think that Middle Eastern people would have a lot more reasons to be horrible, and they don't seem to express that. It is shocking to me. And that is why I say, you know, it's just bizarre. People from Russia are acting the way that they're acting. It's bizarre. Let's see. D-Chat wrote a bunch of comments. I'm going to sift through these real quick. I don't consider trolls be representative of any population, though. Let's see. D-Chat, I like DeepSeek and Chinese on a person-to-person basis. I like DeepSeek and Chinese on a person-to-person basis were never a problem. Let's see. D-Chat says, remember about Russians and Slavs in general, such as myself. A lot of us are pretty spiteful people. Again, I being no exception. We also have a tendency towards volatility and depressiveness. Yeah, but like, you would think there'd be something in you that when you meet someone for the first time, you're like decent. You think you'd appreciate the support. If you're spiteful because people treat you like crap, you think you'd want more people who have your back, not treat them like crap for having your back. Because who's going to want to have your back? Maybe it's an American thing where respect is something you earn. You treat people with respect, they respect you, everybody wins, you actually have a team now, right? I've never known it to be of any culture to attack people for supporting you. Unless you're a self-hating person. I don't get it. D-Chat says, also there's a major gang problem in both Russia and Ukraine and many of those countries. Let's see. The stuff going on between Russia and Ukraine is not as black and white as Westerns want to see it. Russia, first and foremost, is an empire encompassing many different nationalities. Also, I think he admitted being Tajik, actually, so he isn't even Russian. I don't know. I don't know. It depends on trolls lie, but like I've looked at one guy's channel, and it's the guy in question, right? We don't need to say his name because he doesn't need to have that glorification, right? But I've seen his channel. He is definitely of the Russian nationality. Like the guy is, like he hates Westerners too. Like I can't help where I was born. You think I like the United States? Not really. I don't really like the United States. I want to have my own life and be able to have things that actually help me succeed. And everyone is a fucking coward in the United States. Everyone. They sit here and they find all these excuses why they can't do their job, why they can't uphold the law, why they can't protect the innocent, why we can't, honor the policies we have in place. Like, everyone's a cock-sucking piece of shit in the United States. I can't think of very many people. There's a few people, don't get me wrong. There's a few people. Obviously, one of them's in my chat right now, okay? But, like, there's only a few people that I've met that actually earn the word respect. Most people don't deserve respect out here. It's ridiculous. So again, if he's not actually from Russia, well, he sure as hell makes it look like he is. Like, that channel is dedicated to sucking Russia's communist dick. And I mean, that's the thing about it, is this guy is straight up a communist. Because he actually says so. I support the Indian Communist Party. I'm a communist myself, yada yada. Like, at this point in time, you have to wonder, who allows these people to exist? There should be a doctor. There should be a device. I'm going to suggest this. I know that we paused. Relax. I'll get to it in a second if that's what you want. Okay? Give me a minute. There should be a device that at birth they can see your future and they can determine if you're going to be a cunt or not. And if you're going to be a cunt, they should be able to give you an abortion. Like, after birth if need be. Okay? Because I don't think any mother would ever want to have a child grow up to be a complete pile of garbage. Instead, what they should do is be able to determine this person is going to be a problem in life. They're going to attack people. They're going to be a troll. They're going to be just a cunt. And then what they should be able to do is abort you, even if it's after birth. I know, we're like, that's not okay. According to a lot of Democrats, which I don't support this, by the way, they think that fetuses don't actually matter. As far as after being born, the mother should still be able to abort if they want to, even 6 months after birth. So, like, which is really fucked up, but welcome to the United States, right? Anyway, let's see. Just wondering, or that one, right? Well, except for the scammers, Indian scammers are a huge problem. Again, I watch Planet Stuff scam baiting vids. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't ever see any scammers in my chats from India. Wherever India's in here, they're super nice. That's my point. Of course, the ones that own the hotels and motels are pretty annoying. The ones in healthcare. I've never met any ones in healthcare. Not to my knowledge. Maybe one or two. But as far as the ones in hotels, yeah, the hotel people are just... Well, they're not really a-holes. They're just... They kiss a lot around. Like, it's... I don't even know where to begin. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when it comes to Middle Eastern people... I'm going off in my chats, right? Hold on, we gotta figure out how to... There we go. When I talk about Middle Eastern people, I mean in my chats. I know that there's a lot of questionable people out in the world regardless, right? But when it comes to being in my chats, that's the problem, right? If I'm gonna, like, be a part of this world... I mean, let's be real here. If I'm gonna be a part of this world, you would think that people would at least be respectful. I don't get what coincides people to be a dick from the get-go. Tajikistan. Right next to Russia. Well, fuck them too, though. The first person we have from that country and they're a cunt. You know what's funny? A lot of our haters are white people. A lot... Like, when you have black people acting like fools in our chats, you don't really see hate. It's just them saying and doing messed up shit. But when it comes to white people, our haters are all white. What is up with that? You ever notice that? Like, most of our haters are straight up white. And a lot of our haters happen to be trans. That's another thing. Like that one, I don't understand that one. You know what? Actually no, I do understand the trans one. I do understand the trans one. You know why? Because I said trans people should leave the kids alone, and they have been going ape shit ever since. Like they are so mad that I don't support their diddler behavior as a community. Like honestly, honestly, I get it. I do because it makes sense. They were just mad that I called them out. Like, you know, the trans community should leave the kids alone. Stop asking people to do horrible things to their bodies. Maybe you should be 18. This was my favorite criticism I made because the response to it for these people was just god tier hilarious, right? I said you should be 21 years old. Treat if you're gonna make a cosmetic change to your body, okay? We're gonna go into trans talk because we can't do this on Twitch. Let's get our system now, right? Basically, what I said was, okay, when you change your appearance to look like a woman, remember the only way to be a woman, the only way, is to put a uterus in there. Make it so you can actually give birth. But some women can't give birth. Yeah, the ones who are defective, okay? A woman's purpose is to pop out babies, okay? For the most part, that's what women are for, according to God's fucking book, right? So we're going to go off the Bible here. Women are designed to give birth. That means your body should have the tools needed to give birth. Biologically speaking, that's what women do. So I would suggest that they put the uterus, the ovaries in there. Make it so that you can pop out a baby or two. Men are like, no, our hips will widen shit. That's the point. That's what women do. They don't want to be women. They want to look like women. For the purpose of, if we're going off Joseph Flannery, the purpose of catfishing. So, like, if you just want to catfish people all day long, you're not actually a woman. It's cosmetic. It's just the appearance. If it's the appearance, then it's no different than a tattoo or a piercing. And here is my opinion that got me so much hate from the trans community, it's not even funny. And I think it's hilarious, okay? But that's just me. I basically said you should be 21 or older in order to transition. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're not 21, you can't transition. They got so angry. Like the angriest people I had ever seen, because of a statement that actually, if you think about it, would be actually a very... I don't have a seltzer please one, but I think we can do that. Let's go do that real quick. Because seltzer is actually a pretty good drink. They got so angry on something that makes absolutely no sense. We'll do seltzer. Just seltzer by itself, okay? And we'll do... They got so angry by that. And what I find entertaining about this whole situation is I don't know why I'd be so upset by that. I'm supporting transitioning just when you're 21. Like it doesn't I have to make the actual commands. All right, ask it now. I have to program it each time. If you guys want something new, ask me and I'll make it a thing. We'll add it to the menu. Let's see. But yeah, they got so angry because I suggested that they had to wait to transition. Like, I don't understand that at all. But it was hilarious because the rage was just wrong. Thanks. Oh, that should be one too. We can teach people common decency by giving commands for things. I'm actually having a moment here of confusion. Is it you are welcome? So you're welcome. There you go. So now when you say thanks, it says you're welcome. I'm just adding new commands. Let's see. I always treat AI decently when I communicate. Say hi to it. Just hi by itself. I love that. I love that little feature. I didn't know this thing was the thing, and it. Let's see. I'm gonna read some of these comments. By. Oh, that's another one. Hold on. New command. Command lowercase o 7, and then it will say. I wonder if I could put an emoji in there. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can put an emoji in there, because I don't know if I can do that. Wouldn't that be the coolest thing? Alright, let's do this. I'm going to do it on Messenger. Copy. Right, let's see. So we're going to do command lowercase o 7. That's how you do it. And it salutes. Gotta love that. That's so fucking cool. Alright, we're just messing with the chat. You can see it on the screen, right? What were we talking about? We're talking about how people have been behaving in our chats and the way people treat me. Trans community, that's right. I don't really know if the trans community deserves a whole lot of attention here, but sometimes it's hilarious to talk about how they respond to things I say. And yeah, they got really angry that I suggested that transitioning should be a thing that you do when you're 21.
They won't be needing those items any longer.
There we go. It's down. Alright, now that we've made a mess of the playground. Yeah, the trans community has always been one of those things that I just find interesting, because they seem to really not like me at all. The gay community, that's another one that doesn't like me very much. I don't know why I say the gay community, but like I don't really know if it's a community. They just all happen to be gay. It's like gay people don't like Tibbs TV for some reason. I don't know why. And what I find interesting about that is I haven't done anything to the gay community. Like, I've talked some serious shit about the trans community, okay? I've talked some serious shit about black people acting like fools because BLM was a thing. I talked some serious shit about trans, blacks, who else? White people, no, not really white. Democrats, I guess you have to include Democrats. I am a Democrat. Who better to criticize Democrats than a Democrat, right? Democrats have a reason to be upset. Trolls all the pedophiles. Oh my god, pedophiles. I have talked so much shit about how they should be unalived, and I have said it so many times. You would think people would grasp that concept of what I actually believe, but they're like, you don't actually believe that. I'm like, why would I say it for 3.5 years then? Like, it seems like a weird thing to lie about, and I've never said anything otherwise ever anywhere. So like, just like, so like, I've talked a lot of shit about pedophiles. They have a reason to be upset. Trolls who are pedophiles, same thing. Like, there's a lot of people who I think would warrant being angry with me. But gay people, they don't have any reason to be pissed. I don't know why they are. Because, like, I have said a lot of shit over the years. I don't think I've ever singled out their group. Ever once. I mean, I've said some things in response to their behavior, don't get me wrong. Because when they're here and they act like a bunch of clowns, drag queens, drag queens are technically trans-based. Because drag queens are men who dress up as women, therefore that would be trans. So even that wouldn't qualify, even though trans people are just gay people with extra steps. That might be what it was. If to be fair, that might be what it was. I don't know, man. I didn't realize that. Gay used to mean happy, and they're definitely not happy with me right now. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what I did to tickle their feathers. I was just trying to share an opinion about how they should improve as a group of people. Maybe they're mad they all got grouped together. You know, at this point, I don't know. I really don't know. And at this point in time, I really don't care to find out, because I've tried communicating with these inhumane lunatics. Because, look, okay, let me explain, okay? Let me calm down. Calm down. Everyone just fucking relax. Let me explain, okay? The reason why I say inhumane lunatics is because I have never seen so many people come into my chats and say some of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. I'm going to pause the game because I really want to set the mood here for this one. We had a guy who we're pretty sure is gay, because the way he acts around little boys is really questionable, okay? And you don't act like a pervert to other males unless you're gay, okay? It's just a thing. He said, when this person had, this adult, mind you, I'm trying to leave out names, because if I say any names, the whole world's gonna, like, just go out of control. When an adult had sex with a kid, there was consent. Therefore, according to this person, she's not a pedo. It's a gay person justifying pedophilia. But what normal person would ever make a statement like that? It's some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You want another one? All right, here we go. For this one, I will use his name because chances are he's dead, which means he's not going to be able to say anything about it, which means we'll be fine. And considering everyone else refuses to bring him up, we should be fine. WTRD Radio, a guy that we covered from 2023 to 2024, stated, to share an opinion on the internet, if children agree with you, that's called grooming. What was the opinion that I shared that a 17-year-old boy agreed with? All pedophiles, all chomos, as I worded it, deserve to be shot directly in the head if they are pedophiles. And everyone has the opinion that matches that opinion, that they deserve to be completely turned into cannon fodder via rifles, shotguns, TNT up the bungholio. How is that grooming if everyone agrees with it? I'm not saying, actually I am saying it, aren't I? I'm saying that chomos deserve to be unalived with the most violent intentions humanly possible. And this person calls that grooming to have that opinion. To say chomos deserve to be shot is apparently grooming. Does anyone care to explain how that's not a retarded concept? That's not a retarded take? Because when I criticized this originally, this is why people say groomer nowadays to me. You're a groomer, Tibbs, because you teach children to hate pedos. What the fuck did you just say? Shut the fuck up and play the game. No, I'm going to sit here and talk, DJ. Anyway, so honestly, if you think about it, I would have no choice but to address the stupidity of this person. And this person also talked about doing his own son, who was 5 years old. Gay people are ridiculous. Anyway, moving right along. So, what are we doing? Yeah, I think when it comes to the gays, I don't really know what I did to piss them off, but like... Anyway. Oh, actually, you know what? You just reminded me. How do I want to do this? Commands, moderation. Give me a second, I'm kind of doing something real quick. There we go. Problem solved. Anyway. Yeah, I've had a lot of encounters with people, and I really don't know what their dealio is. But for some reason, the gays don't like me very much. For having common sense opinions and talk about things that would, in a way that would make sense. Apparently they don't like me very much. I'm not really sure how to feel about that. I mean, on one hand, I don't really care. But on the other hand, I'm like, why do they have to come in here and make it so known that they don't like me? Like, it brings up a lot of conversations, actually. But anyway. Let's see. More Russians acting like morons. Well, I'm not surprised. Let's see. They're mad because I supported them, and now they're apparently acting like morons because of... You know, I don't really know why they're upset. I really don't know why they're upset. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Let's see. We got a wild gourd blossom. Anyway, it's the internet. Welcome to the place of opinions, right? But yeah, I think the three groups of people I've pissed off the most by having my opinions is gays, trans, and trolls. Just in general, those three groups seem the most frustrated with my what I have to say. Let's see. That's Nightbot. I don't really know if I want to do Covenant. Covenant's let's see. What else can we talk about? I've talked about Russians, trans, gays, blacks, and trying to find a way to shift this conversation into a similar conversation with something else going on. Gotta learn to communicate, right? Like, if we're gonna do all this talking all the time. Alright, cool. I don't want to go in there right now, though. The Taffington Boathouse. Actually, you know what we should do? Go to College Square. Let's see. What was I gonna say? I got wildly distracted there for a second. Let's go to the Collegiate Administration Building. All the winter imitators. The fact they tried dumb thing, they had a reverse winter called Summer, and the Bratz doll stuff. Is that what that was? I see. I couldn't figure out why Summer was such a cunt yesterday. But then that does make sense. They're all just... I don't know what their issue with winter is. Like, the world is full of winter, basically. The world's full of people from, I'm trying to think about how to word this. I guess reminder doesn't work. So I'll just make it a timer in general. Hold on, give me a second. New timer. I guess we'll go every 6 minutes. Reminder. In 6 minutes, we'll know what that says. Dashboard. 289 messages today. Alright. We're Gucci. We're Gucci. Alright, let's see. Where are we going? We're looking for a location of... Yeah, I don't understand why everybody was acting like a weirdo about winter. Like, it's not even like... If you were put off by it, like, I get that to an extent, because it's not every day. There's a few YouTube channels. There's actually quite a few YouTube channels that have... I guess things like winter in them. Okay. There's a few channels that have love dolls on them. And they're not promoting love dolls. They're just as a prop or etc., right? Oh, ignore the trolls tips. If you ignore them, eventually they'll get bored and tune out. Mods, murder, ban, trolls in sight. I'll do what I can on my end. Thank you, Nightbot. There's a lot of channels that have love dolls, either as a prop or as some kind of a background, things like that. There's this one podcast that actually does it. I don't remember what they're called, but they were like a man's podcast kind of thing, and they did it. You know what I mean? And there's a few other ones too, and people act like it's such a weird thing that a grown-ass man has a prop like that. I mean, if we're going to look at it, its base value, it's, I guess the way to look at it is it's a prop, right? And people are acting like, oh my god, he's breaking some kind of code or some, like, I don't even know. Like, it's the stupidest shit humanly possible. But people are acting bizarre. Like, just volatile because you chose to be creative with what you have at your disposal. Look, I'm a YouTuber. Okay? I'm not saying what I do is the best thing to do. I'm not saying it's the only thing people should do. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people out there who have... How do I word this? There's a lot of people out there who have creative tendencies to use what they have at their disposal to make something better, I guess is the way to put it. And for some stupid reason, people get so hostile and so wacky. And I say wacky because I can't think of a non-hostile word to describe it. But, like, people just get ridiculous. And they're like, you're not allowed to be creative. It's bizarre that you have it. Like, are you mad because you can't afford one? Like, I'm really confused. So, at that point in time, I have to ask questions. If I ask questions, I get asinine behavior. And I don't think that people need to be that way. But, like, at the same time, I question it. Like, why are you acting like such a fucking wacko? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Because it's winter. if she's really plastic, why are you so threatened by her? Like, I've heard that statement a few times. But she's plastic. Why are you so threatened by her then? Like, if it's really just a love doll, it's not hurting you. It's not hurting anyone else. It's YouTube. Do I need to go into detail about Moist Critical? Oh boy. So, Penguin Z0, Moist Critical, aka Charlie, he had an entire dildo collection. He put it on thumbnails and everything. Like, I don't know how he doesn't break YouTube's terms of service doing that. And nobody complains about him. Is it because he's got a bigger following? So if you have 1 million subs, you can do all that. But if you have 6,000 subs, suddenly it's a problem. Think about it. More people are seeing the 1 million subs. That would be the problem. Why not go attack him? Because Charlie's got an established following, and they don't give a shit about what you say because you're not worth their time, and they're going to make fun of you, and everyone's going to make fun of you with him. And by default, you lose the numbers game. That's what it's really about. Are we inside? Oh, we are. I mean, that is realistically the difference. It's just like, it's kind of hypocritical. Because if Winner really is inappropriate for YouTube, first of all, YouTube would step in. YouTube would step in if Winner was actually inappropriate for YouTube. But also, if Charlie can do dildos, a love doll should be no issue, especially when that love doll is always clothed. Always clothed. You never even see a nip slip. You don't even see side boob. You don't see anything. It is one of the most PG versions of that experience you'll ever get. Because I don't see Winner as something vulgar, you know what I mean? And people just get stupid about it. Like, I don't get that. Winner's always been dressed decently. She's never been engaged with any inappropriate adult manner or stream. Winner's always dressed and participates in a tasteful, very family-friendly way. I guess if you want to call it family-friendly, because, again, it is a love doll. Like, we're not going to deny that fact. But yeah, I guess the rest of that is pretty much accurate, though, because, like, we've never had a reason to showcase anything inappropriate, because that's not what Winner's for. Winner's just something that I find comfort in, I guess the best way to put it. And she does serve as a character on the channel. If she is a character on the channel, let's just say she's fictional. Let's just say, for posterity's sake, she's fictional. Well, then you're threatened by the image of a fully dressed, fully clothed, fully appropriate prop, who we gave a character name, a character identity, etc. YouTube literally builds an entire existence off of YouTube builds an entire existence off creative characters, fictionalized content, and entertainment. That is where YouTube gets most of its following. So if people are butthurt by Winter, clearly you can't appreciate any level of content because you're over here whining, but it's fake, it's fake. Most of YouTube is fake. Most YouTubers are fake. Most YouTubers are fake. Most YouTubers are completely full of shit. So if you're complaining that I'm not real enough, well, most YouTubers aren't going to be real with you either. It's all fake. Like, I don't know how to say this because people don't seem to understand this. Most of YouTube is fictional. I mean, I hate to expose the lie, but, like, that's what YouTube has always been. YouTube has never been 100% real. Because, mind you, editing videos, most of YouTube is videos, to be fair. Like, streaming isn't really big on YouTube. But, like, most of YouTube has videos. You know why they're edited? Because they're fake by default. They don't want to show you the whole experience, because that doesn't sell well. I stream because I don't look at this as something of a challenge, you know what I mean? And for some reason, people are like, but you're fake. Your characters are fake. Your YouTube content's fake. Your streams aren't real. Well, yeah, it's a game. Playing a video game makes sense, right? So, with that being said, I don't know why people get so bent out of shape. Like, it's not that deep, and people just act fucking stupid. I don't understand that.
Yes, sir.
Nothing yet. I'm just collecting the jet. Move. Get the fuck out of the way. And that whole situation just feels ridiculous after a point, because how many times am I going to explain it? If you don't like the content, don't watch. I mean, you can be replaced. I mean, I guess the way to look at this is, what would I rather have? A bunch of trolls that can't handle that a YouTube content isn't really based off of...
Take them out.
What would I rather have? YouTube content... Or, sorry. What would I rather have? Viewers who whine about everything because it's not real enough for them? Or would I rather have the people that replace them? The actual viewership, right? At that point in time... it makes sense to pick your audience, because like, I don't have time for all this whining and complaining and being a cynical asshole. Like, it's just constant. But like, the winner stuff is the most bizarre, because it's like they really do obsess over winner, and I don't get why. Let's see. I think there was one more in here somewhere. No, we got him. Anyway, I guess that is the general issue with YouTube, is that there's so many people that just don't understand YouTube. Like, why are you on YouTube if you're just going to bitch about it nonstop? And that is really my biggest question. I'll never get an actual answer to that, because... Well, that's the other thing, too. I think YouTube has become kind of a cesspool environment when it comes to actually getting information. Because if you ask anyone a question, or if you point out anything, or if you have an opinion, or if you exist, or if you even look a certain way, people are going to attack you with everything they got for fucking years. It's like, you would think that they have a life. And for some reason, these people don't. I mean, you can't call me a jobless loser when you spend all your time crapping on people online. Like, that's all you do. Like, and I'm saying that in general, in a generalized sense. It's kind of weird that that's all these people do. It's like, you would think you'd have more to contribute. Alright, I think we should go back to Sanctuary. Drop off some stuff at this point. His head's intact. Let's see. This one. Anyway. Let's go back to Sanctuary. It's dark anyway. Make it light again. I just don't understand why people are like that. Like, it's like... the amount of people who whine and complain. It's like... why did God have to bless me with an audience of nothing but man children? When people don't comment, and we have a fairly quiet chat, and everything's just chill, it's actually pretty nice. But there is oftentimes people coming in here. God damn it.
No problem.
People will come in here and they will bitch for like ever about the stupidest shit humanly imaginable. And it's just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't understand why. Like, can someone help me understand why people are complaining so much? Because, in all hindsight, it doesn't make any sense. People do more bitching than anything else. It's like, you can come in here and say, hi, how you doing? Cool video. Or, hey, this video's not for me. But here's the thing about that. If the video is not for you, why the fuck do they keep coming back? Like, that's another thing that I will never understand. People say that my content sucks. And you are entitled to your opinion. I support that. Because you are going to have your own opinion. But people, honestly, people keep coming in here and complaining, which again, you're allowed to have an opinion. But why do you keep coming back? I'll never understand that. Like, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I'm genuinely curious. Like, why the fuck do they keep coming back? If you don't like the content, don't tune in. That makes the most sense to me, and I can't even. I just don't understand why they insist on. And I mean, if you want to watch the content, sure, it adds me to the algorithm. You're helping me grow as a person each time you do that. But like, why? Like, I can't understand that. Like, it actually is. It's laughable. It's like, if you don't like the content, why the?
May I assist you, sir?
No, you're just gonna ask me to
No problem.
establish that. We need to get you another time. Yes, but yes, basically I just see it as a snowball type of effect that got out of hand. What? The whole... I don't even know at this point. I don't understand it. I don't understand people at all. Like, it's like, I can't be the only intelligent person on planet Earth. And that is the truth of it, right? I can't be the only person on planet Earth that has a brain. If I am, that's a really miserable existence, because I'm the only person in this lifetime that actually has some sense of common sense. It can't be the only one. There's got to be other people out there like me that are just like, yeah, that makes no sense. I refuse to believe I'm the only person on God's green earth that understands that you should just not tune into a channel if you don't like it. There's no way I'm alone. The trolling? Oh, yeah, the trolling got out of hand. It's because I was responding. I was trying to understand people. I was trying to be level with people, and I realize now that I should have just told everybody to fuck off, I guess. I don't even know. Like, honestly, I don't understand. I want, and that's the thing about me as a person. It's the part of me that is the worst. I don't even know. Nightbot just obliterated them. It's because of what their... It's because their channel name's inappropriate, I think. That one actually makes sense, because Nightbot is pretty much... You've been terminated by Tipsy's personal bodyguard. You get a warning. I guess they get a warning. They'll probably be back. Start off with a misandric white knighting, and then involved a whole of trolling group, and then adjacent groups got involved in the bandwagon. Yeah, that more or less is the issue, right? Even that, like, it has made me not want to be a good person when it comes to standing up for what's actually right. Like, who would want to stand up for what's right, knowing this is the world we live in, and these are the people that I'm fighting for? Like, that is the thing, too. Like, why would I want to... Can I scrap this? I can't scrap that, okay. Why would I want to stand up for what's right in a world where these people exist? I mean, that is the truth of it. Like, at that point in time, I've realized in my life, I have no interest in doing the right thing anymore, because when I did the right thing, what was the point? People just acted... People act like wackos. And I'm not wrong on that. That's not a delusion. I did not imagine all that behavior. People acted absolutely bizarre. And I don't get why. Like, I really don't get why. Let's see. I'm going to go here real quick. Yeah, that person got banned because their name was considered sus. I'm glad the Nightbot had... See, none of those... Nothing in their name or their comments was banned words. The Nightbot can calculate, yeah, this person's name looks sus. And then that's because it's technically an AI. It is intelligent. Which I love that. The Nightbot actually does its job because it knows the difference. It's kind of cool, actually. But anyway. Oh, hold on. We don't put the moldy food in there. Anyway. Yeah, I just realized after a point that I don't want to be a good person when it comes to fighting for what's right and standing for, you know, all that. It's just, are you enjoying the stream? Oh, okay. Sometimes a comment pops through and I want to make sure it's all working, so I'm reading it out loud in my back of my head over here kind of thing. We have a lot of jet. I think the Nightbot's kind of cool though. Like, it just knows. It's like, that person has a questionable name. We're throwing them out. And I'm like, good job, Nightbot. I appreciate it. Look, if you guys are going to do all the sexual stuff, just know that we don't allow that here. Mostly the reason why is because people take it way out of hand. And because people have ruined any aspect of that kind of sense of humor, we don't allow it here anymore. Just saying. See? It's banning people based off the actual names they're using. Foot and feet are not banned words. Victim is, though. Victim is a banned word. Let's see. You're asking why foot. Oh, if you're asking why victim is a banned word, it's because people throw that word around a lot, and I don't feel like hearing about it. If you're a victim, I don't care. I mean, realistically, I'm not a police officer. No one here is a police officer, therefore it's not our problem. But they're victimizing us right now. Call the police. If you can go on YouTube and get attention via live chats, you can go to police somewhere. Let's see. I like how Nightbot's just obliterating people. It's like, you have no business being in here. Let's see. Do we have any of the FAT men's? Okay. We need to get Winner's junk. Winner, can I get your junk, please?
Let's take a look at what you've got.
Thanks, Winner. Alright, let's see. Take that. I think it's kind of cool that the actual NPCs in the game. Why is that favorited? I think it's cool the NPCs in the game actually know how to loot and stuff. Alright, let's go make a jet. Oh, can make an Abraxo. Let's see.
We have the entire Commonwealth to explore. Where should we go next?
We'll figure it out. Let's see. Excuse me, Ada. Still working our way towards the The insane asylum still. Oh, it's nighttime. I look at Carlos here in the middle of the night. Let's go for 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 7 a.m. Trying to think about things I could talk about. It's good to keep the conversation flowing because then you get.
I've never lost anyone before. This failure is new to me.
Thanks, Ada. What can we talk about? Do I want to talk? That's another thing. Do I even want to talk about anything? So apparently there's this thing going around that games are going to start costing $80, and they started with Borderlands 4. Well, technically they started with Nintendo, Mario Kart or something like that, being $80, which is really the stupidest thing humanly imaginable because it's the same level of games, the same quality of games too, that came out in the thing's kind of glowing green for some reason. The game is slowly breaking around us. But games are like at a point where they're costing $80, the same quality they were 10 years ago. Like PS5 games are not PS5 games. PS5 games are easily still PS4 games. People still gonna buy though. That is true. That is true. Switch 2 is fixing to be a total disaster. I've heard so many horrible things about the Switch 2. Nothing that warrants the amount of money they're asking for. Like with a console, where do I start with this? I feel like with consoles, they can charge anything they want. If it's under $500, like $499, etc., then that is actually pretty doable. Okay, because let's be honest here, it's a console. It's the games you get the entertainment from. So if you're going to talk about like the price of the consoles, $500, you really can't complain because it's been $500 for a while now. Games being $80 though, like how much money do they think we're actually making in this economy? And then the developers should know better because a lot of them are from the United States and things are expensive now. Like if you want people to buy your product, you have to make it feasible to your actual consumer. And for some stupid reason, they're like, oh, if gamers are dedicated fans, if they're fans enough, they'll make it happen. Like that is one of the most dumbest statements I have heard in a while. If they're fans, they'll make it happen. Like, okay, that's what's the word that would describe that best? It just feels like they don't understand their fan base, let alone the economy that we live in. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one I should start with. I guess we'll do created. One likeness created. It was Control. Like what the Switch had going for it was the longest time was that it was cheap and portable. Now they got the Switch, which itself is about $500, but it's also got all the subscription BS. And if you got to subscribe just to use certain games, and yes, it has to be online to play most of it, like mobile games. I don't think the online games thing is gonna work. If you're gonna play the Switch, most of the time you're out in the country on drives, you're out and about. You don't have reliable Wi-Fi when you're out and about. Does the Switch have its own Wi-Fi? I highly doubt it. It's going to be like the Wii U. That's what I'm thinking. I really do think that when they're doing the Switch thing, they're not thinking. They're thinking about the money. That's it. And that's the dumbest way to go about it. Because you got to remember that games are already expensive enough. $70. I have not bought a game in years because they keep upping the price. And by the way, they keep doing that. Like, it's the most annoying thing. They keep doing that. This game came out in 2015. Fallout 76 came out in 2018. It's the exact same thing, but online. Okay, Starfield came out in 2023, I believe, and it's the exact same thing as this, quality-wise. Like, see that glitch there? Actually, Starfield's emptier. Starfield is emptier. That's not worth $80 because the next one's gonna be Elder Scrolls 6, and they're like, it's gonna be $80. The hell it is. No one's gonna buy it. It's like if Elder Scrolls 6 is as bad as Starfield was, no one's gonna buy it. Starfield wasn't terrible. It had some moments of enjoyment, but mods can't save a game like that. And then you got Ubisoft games. Oh my god. I played Assassin's Creed Shadows. I had Ubisoft Plus on the, I believe it was the Xbox. Yeah, it was Xbox, because Ubisoft Plus. Ubisoft Premium is not on PlayStation. It's only an Xbox thing, so Xbox wins in that regard. But you can get all the new games for like $20 a month. So I played Assassin's Creed Shadows. It is literally the same thing as Valhalla, just in Japan. Except, here's the problem with Shadows. It is mostly cutscenes. I played for 3.5 hours. I played from 7 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. that day. Give or take a few minutes, right? And it was mostly cutscenes. 3 hours. I'm in the game at that point. I should totally get that game installed again and play it for you guys to show you how asinine Assassin's Creed Shadows was. Because most people won't do a playthrough online. I noticed that everybody's talking shit about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it's deserved. Trust me, it's deserved at this point, right? But no one's doing a playthrough to show you the despicable nature of that game. It's not that it's woke. It's not that they made feudal Japan gay somehow. It's that it's mostly cutscenes. And you can't even call them cutscenes. It's basically a movie, and you get like 3 minutes of playtime. I played for 3 minutes in 3.5 hours. That's how long these cutscenes were taking place. It's not worth $80. You don't pay $80 for a fucking movie. You just like, it doesn't make no sense. And that's Ubisoft in general, okay? Because they haven't put out a decent game in a while. Like Watch Dogs and Far Cry 4 was like the last really good Far Cry. Far Cry 5 wasn't terrible, but it was just too damn short. It also didn't feel like a Far Cry game after a point. It felt like something else entirely, which is probably for the best. They're trying new things. But the last good Far Cry is like Far Cry 4. Far Cry 3 was really good too, but like that's even farther back, right? Like Ubisoft, they're not worth $80. They're worth like $50 at best. Games are worth $50. That's what you're getting for your overall playtime. You're getting about $50 worth of playtime. I mean, I don't know what they're making these charges based off of. They're just really bad decision making.
Take them down.
I like how the Rust Devils are being attacked by their own robots. Rust Devil. Maybe they aren't being attacked by their own robots. I don't know the whole story of the Automatron DLC, to be fair. Let's see. Already the cutscenes tells me that it was meanostly to be propagandistic. Okay, I'm trying to struggle to get this word. It wasn't about playing the game. It was about seeing their cutscenes promote their narratives. Pretty much. No, Far Cry 3 is the best one. Well, I think Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 were pretty close to each other. I think Far Cry 3 was more linear, and Far Cry 4 lets you do a little bit more with the story that you wanted to do. But I think they're both really good in their own ways, but still, it's a good take to have. Well, I gotta go. You a blessed one, brother. You too, man. It was nice meeting you. See, that's what I'm talking about. When I see that in the comment section, that's what I'm looking for. People being chill, people being cool, talking about games and stuff. That's what I want. That puts a smile on my face when we got to that point there. Also, we're keeping all the haters out today, aren't we? Let's keep that going. Let's keep that vibe rolling. Let's see. I like how they got robot repair kits, but they're robots. Like, I thought only humans could use those. Let's see. Nightbot, if you haven't done so already, you should subscribe to our channel. Damn right, nope, Nightbot. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna eventually put like a whole list of commands that people can use somewhere, maybe in the description or the chat or something. I'm not entirely sure yet. Let's see. Seltzer is also an option you guys can do now. I added that one in today. And you can also say thank you to it if you want. Let's see. Probably could put TY as an option. Let's see. This game. Oh my god. What the fuck is happening to this game? Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, we might have to get out of the robot. We might have to get out of the robot. Maybe it's the robot doing that. It is the robot. Oh, God. Everything is glitched. What the hell? This game is slowly falling apart. It has been doing this for about 3 days now. It's been getting gradually worse, too. That's how you know it's not a mod. This is actually just this game. We're going to play Mafia soon. Like, I'm almost tempted to just play it till it breaks completely. Because this is Bethesda at its finest. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Dude, it's been falling apart graphics-wise gradually for the last 3 days. Really? I'm getting some more OJ. Give me a second. I can't help it. I just, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't even know what to say. Oh my god. It is raining. It is such a nice day right now. Like, this is the perfect day. Cool commenters, keeping the chats clean, and above all else, it's just a really chill day. I love this. All right. This game has been gradually falling apart, though, for the last 3 days. I've never seen anything like this, by the way. I've never seen a game slowly deteriorate to nothing. It's like you got hit with Thanos' snap, but it's just fighting back. It's like, you will not take me. Alright. We can't use the Pip-Boy for the power armor. So we're not going to use the Pip-Boy wearing the power armor. Just because look what it does. I mean, we can see, but like, what the hell? Thanks, Nightbot. This way. Just don't know what to do with this whole thing, right? When do you think they'll drop Fallout 5? There's a comment that I missed. I'm going to read it because it's actually a good topic to talk about. I don't know if they're going to drop Fallout 5, but I would suggest soon. See, with Oblivion coming out this recently, it's broken to shit, though. Yeah, by the way, Oblivion came out, and it was worth $50 price tag, right? Which is a lot more doable, if you ask me. But it's broken. Oblivion is wildly broken. And it's $50. That's already asking a lot, right? Hold on, is there anyone here? No one here, okay. But $50 is more doable considering Oblivion is about the same quality as Starfield, which, by the way, is still $70. Starfield being $70 is just a downright insult, okay? Because Starfield should not be $70. That game is empty. It is barren. It is more barren than my mom, okay? And at this point in time, maybe, just maybe, it shouldn't be $70. It is. Nothing we can do about that. It's already happened, right? If games are going to be the quality of Starfield, for example, they should not be that price tag. Oblivion came out. It is $50 and broken to hell. However, getting back to the topic at hand here, Fallout 3 is rumored to be their next game they're doing. Apparently, that's going to be what they're going to do next, which I think would be really cool, because Fallout 3, hopefully they don't screw up Fallout 3, and Fallout 3 is a little bit more stable than Oblivion. A little bit, not by much, let's be honest here. But, like, if we're being honest, it's doable. Fallout 3 should work fairly better. I play it on the Xbox Series X via backwards compatibility for the Xbox 360 all the time. Works fairly good. If it's just slapping another engine over the engine they had and keeping everything else the same pretty much, because really that's what it is, then overall should work. Should play fairly well. Oh my god, this game is falling apart. We're playing Fallout 4 right now. The fuck is happening? I've removed most of the mods that were causing issues. Huge PSA here. Huge PSA, okay? Public service announcement. This game was working fine, okay? I added 2 mods, and then it started acting up. I took the mods out. It's still doing it, so it's not the mods. I've checked. This is not mods doing this to the game. I don't know what's... No one else is playing this game right now? Anyone on YouTube, apparently? I can see why. I can see why no one's streaming it, okay? But realistically, I took away the mods that were causing problems, possibly causing problems. Still happening. So it's not the mods. It's not my console. That is not the HDMI cord or the capture card. That is actually the game itself. That's it, just the game. This happened once before in 2018. And they had to update the game to fix it. And more or less what happened in 2018 is all the water was rainbow. So it looked like you had soap in the water or something. Because when you walk out on a rainy day and you look at water and it has a rainbow texture, it's because there's oils in it. Usually that's how that works. Don't need to go into the science of it, right? For some reason, in 2018, that was happening with this game. And I don't know why. Now, the game is fucking falling apart. Those green blocks, that is the actual game. Everything that's happening in this game is that, oh my god. I don't even know. Why are you shooting at me? Okay, I can't. It's also a problem because I can barely see, and by the way, that would cause an epileptic seizure after a point. This game is falling apart. Anyway, Fallout 3 is coming out, therefore, or Fallout 3 is rumored to be coming out. We still don't know for sure. And the problem with that is we don't actually know. But if it does come out, Fallout 5 will happen a lot later than we expect. Because Elder Scrolls 6 is still next. If they're going to stall with all these remaster releases, it could be 20 years. Fuck, it could never happen. There's a chance it'll never happen. What are you doing out here?
Please, I'm so thirsty. Could you spare any water?
No.
I see.
Even the guts. Even the guts are not the right color. Anyway, I just wonder when this game's going to completely collapse inward. Just, your game can no longer be played because Ubisoft has removed it from the store. Or whatever fucking company made Fallout, Bethesda. Interplay has returned and they're taking back their property. Oh, great. Can we still play it? That would be something, right? Imagine if Interplay came back from the dead and said, you know what, we're taking this shit back. Bethesda, you fucked up for too long. Because Bethesda does not respect Fallout. I really don't think Bethesda's ever respected Fallout. But, oh, Jesus Christ. Do you think they heard me walking?
Regret this. Servo's failing.
What are you all doing back there? Get over here and help.
Hard-hit badly. Compensating.
Move in. Okay, we have found ourselves in the middle of a glitching war zone.
I'm gonna eat your legs when you're dead, human!
Alright, we got plenty of corn out here. Does anyone else find it weird that corn doesn't digest? Did you know that you could eat creamed corn? Creamed, mind you. And it'll come out whole? For some real reason, your body just wants corn to be weird. Anyway. Let's see. Hey, LOL.
Beg your pardon, but you may have just trodden through mutant hound scat.
I walk through shit. Can you get the fuck out of my way, Ada? Move! Move! Go over there! I'm looting this shit. Fucking Ada.
Can you see them, sir?
Every day is a good day to die!
Alright, let's see.
I've lost
Dang.
my target.
There's still a few more.
Kill them all! Gobble in their steak! Little baby scared!
Get him, winner. Radium rifle. I'm not sure if I'll ever
Think it might
use
be
that.
worth our time to check each building for useful supplies.
Alright, then we'll do that. I don't really want to, but we'll do that. Yeah, Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 coming out as a remaster kind of suggests that Fallout 5 will take a lot longer to come out. And I think that's a problem because, look, I got nothing against old games coming out. It's very popular. It's a big thing in the industry right now. But, like, at the same time, it's like, I want to play something new. I played Fallout 3 religiously. Like, the only reason Fallout 3 remastered would be a big deal is because PlayStation users can finally play it. That's the only reason. It's the only reason why, what was I saying before I got wildly interrupted?
There may be more of those.
Sorry, guys.
Badly damaged.
I stepped on, let's see. The only reason why it would be interesting to see, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. Maybe I am really bad at multitasking on these games. Like, I can play the game, but I can't play the game and multitask. That's kind of sad, isn't it? It's like, you can't talk and stream. Nah, it's so difficult. I can't seem to get it done. You know what I mean? Just whatever. Let's see. Likeness 1. Mission. The only reason why it would make sense to bring it out is because PlayStation users have not been able to play it. And at that point in time, it's like, you know, it's like, what's the point? Oh, Nightbot got him before I did. Shit. Nightbot's really doing their job. Let's see, methods. So it's not M. Let's see. Mission. Hold on. Methods. So it's not E. Mission. Not that. It's IS. Mission M. Mission IO. I before the last several letters. I. Mission. Something in there is accurate. This has nothing in common with it. Mission. Am I missing one? Methods. Oh, it's methods. Well, methods, that's S. S. Methods. 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 Crap. Let's see. You okay over there, Nightbot? Seem to be kicking ass and not taking any names. Let's see. Let's do holding 2, so sparing won't be it. Bam. Let's move the dud. That won't be it. That won't be it. Holding. That doesn't seem to have anything in common with it. Tries reset. Son of a bunion. Holding. That's one in common. That's several in common. That definitely isn't it. Holding. Holding. It's not it. Holding. There we go. Safe control. Disengage the lock.
Using a keyboard. How quaint.
Shit. Dual doors, I guess. Move, move, move.
Shoulder damage.
Sorry, everybody. I saw a grenade and ran like hell. Alright, I'll get these things. That house is trashed. Actually, you know what we should do? That one's been searched. Don't open that door. I think we're already in here. Okay, we're gonna close this door. Are you okay? Alright. That one isn't a house anymore. Search this one. This is Winter's idea. Search everything. So. Sugar bombs are worth a lot. Alright, this one's empty. Excuse me, Donovan. I hear the fire is kind of glitching as well.
Anyone before. These feelings of grief are new to me. Tell me it gets better.
You okay, Winter? I have no light I can turn on either. The reason why I can't turn on my light is because I'm not wearing a piece of power armor headset, like the helmet, whatever, the shoulder lamp. Alright, those ones are done. Let's check that house.
All systems are a go, sir.
Glad to hear it. Let's see. Well, I'd like to know how they got a thing of how they got that giant Nuka-Cola machine in here. All right, we're clear. Found all of this. Jesus Christ. Tathington Boathouse.
Does this location remind you of home, sir?
A little bit. A little bit. Not entirely. It depends on what home was really considered. I can talk about home, like where I used to live. But I feel like nobody wants to hear about that.
Any spare parts, you be sure and let me know.
Let's see. So, anyway, I guess we could talk about Fallout, being that's the hot topic of the day. You know, one thing I really do think they should do in the next Fallout is try to upgrade the engine, because they've been using this engine for God knows how long, and it just feels broken to shit. I've always kind of questioned why they can't make a game play like a game in 2025, because they're always using the same quality of the same quality they've been using since 2006. Like realistically, it's been the same engine, the same quality ever since. Like, they only in the last game decided to add a potential jump/climb option. Now you jump onto something, like let's say I'm jumping on here, right? I jump onto it, a hand will pop out and it'll kind of push you upward, basically. That's the newest thing that they did. Because climbing ladders still aren't a thing in Starfield. Like, I shudder to think what Elder Scrolls 6 is going to look like. I'm not saying that they're going to do a crappy job. I'm saying that it's very possible they'll do a crappy job. Because, like, I don't even know. Oh, God, we got to go back to base. I feel like the entire basis of Bethesda's career, they've slowly been getting worse as a developer. I love Fallout, okay? I've never been a fan of Elder Scrolls, though. And I guess the reason why I don't like Elder Scrolls as much, like, I love Skyrim. Skyrim's a great game. But it's not the best Elder Scrolls game, apparently. People have opinions that Oblivion is better. Some people like to say Elder Scrolls Online is better. I don't really know. I have a mix of opinions. I mean, I like Skyrim the best because it's what I've been playing for the majority of my experience with that franchise. I know, Winter. I know. But I've never been a fan of the Elder Scrolls franchise the way that I love Fallout. I like Fallout because there's guns, explosions, the mods are almost always amazing. I've sunken in countless hours into Fallout. I've 100%. I platinumed Far Cry 3 finally, or not Far Cry 3. Wow, blow that off, please. I finally platinumed Fallout 3 last year, which after playing it since 2013. You would think that at some point I would platinum this game, you know? And it finally came around that I did that in 2024. I still have not platinumed Fallout New Vegas. I feel like that's the next one that I should do. Bethesda doesn't seem to have the same respect for Fallout that they have for Elder Scrolls. And as much as that is fine, because some games you're going to like more than others. Even as a developer, you're going to have that one that's your favorite. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense to me. I feel like Fallout is getting popular enough that you should want to put a little more love and attention into it. You should want to make it something that people can really appreciate. You should want to make it playable by today's standards. I don't mean having rainbow flags and LGBT and all that. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean by that is that when you play it, you actually are playing a game that is a modernized game. The graphics look what today's graphics should be. We're on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Given that most of their games are Xbox primarily focused, you would think that there would be some level of that being shown in the way they build their games. I think we're going to keep this game. I think we're going to keep this gun and we're going to test it out. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm over here putting the wrong thing to the wrong. We have this organization here for a reason. I just feel like if we're gonna have games come out, you should put enough love and time into them that they actually feel like they're meant to be played by today's standards. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna have a game come out in 2025, it should feel like it's in 2025, like it's meant to be played in 2025. You know what I mean? And for some reason, the games that come out these days don't feel like that. They just feel like, well, they don't have that same amount of love and time put into them. You know, like, it's like Starfield felt rushed, which is weird because Starfield has been a thing for so long that how could it have been rushed? You know what I mean? Like, it definitely wasn't rushed, but like, it feels like it. Because when you play Starfield, it just feels average at best. And what's really sad is Starfield is such a big game. There's so much universe to explore in that game. And for some reason, they don't, I don't know, they just don't feel like they wanted it to succeed. Maybe they did want it to succeed. They just have a really funny way of showing it. I don't know. All I know is that game does not feel like a game that should have come out in 2023. Let's say it was 2021. I don't know when Starfield launched. It's been so long. I think it was 2023. God, was it 2023? Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wonder. I'm going to wonder, was it 2023? How long has Starfield been out? Because for the time it's been out, it hasn't succeeded in very much. That game gets crapped on a lot. Let's see. I guess put the tar berry in the vegetable soup. This. It just does not feel like it's going places. And that game is, if it came out in 2023, it's only 2 years old. That game should be accomplishing so much right now. It's one of the biggest, most ambitious games Bethesda's ever devised, supposedly. The game itself, like, you would think that there would be more going on for it. And that's just not the case. Like, can anyone explain that? Like, why is it doing so poorly? I mean, the answer should be fairly obvious. It's because, honestly, Bethesda didn't put the time and effort into it to make it really nice. I mean, when you play Fallout 4, you go 10 feet, you have something cool to look at, or there's something to explore. I've been exploring this game nonstop for the last 16 episodes, which is like, every stream's been like 3 to 4 hours. So, 16 times 4. I don't know what the math would be. It's a lot, okay? It's like well over 100 at this point. I've explored so much in this game because there's actually substance to the game. There's actual content here. And with Starfield, you don't get that. You could go on a planet and it's just rock for miles. Like, who would want to play that? Who would want to watch somebody play that? Games right now, everything's being streamed. Everyone's streaming their experience on a game. Who the fuck's going to want to watch them play Starfield? Even with mods, it's barren. There's just nothing going on, nothing to explore. And things that you explore are all the same shit. It all feels exactly the same. Which is just, it's just messed up. Like, you have so much potential as a developer. And as a developer, you make these games, and there's nothing going on in these games. Anywhere. It's just endless nothingness. I mean, that isn't good. That's just a waste of everyone's time. Oh, no. No jungles, no avatar. They couldn't at least do something like a star. They didn't do anything. The game was barren. Our trolls were sitting here like, this is the greatest game of all time when it came out. And I was sitting there like, it's not. Our trolls were sitting there saying how it was an amazing game and I should play it. I'm playing it, I'm like, this game is barren. And you know what's funny? The entire internet wound up having that opinion. So I wasn't wrong. Either the internet agreed with me, because we have the same opinion, common sense is how it works, right? Or they would just realize it to be true regardless. Trolls were like, and then you notice trolls don't play that anymore? I mean, they said they played it. I don't know if they ever actually played it, because they're trolls. They lie religiously. But, like, now, the point is, everyone's like, this game, you should play it, Tibbs. I'm playing, I'm like, this game is barren. This game is empty. There's nothing going on in it. And then the entire internet had that opinion. Either I influenced the entire internet, or I was right and it was true, because people would find that out regardless, no matter what way you slice it, right? And I'm playing this game. It's nothing like Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is broken right now. That's why I have these weird texture problems on the screen. You notice? Look at that. What the fuck is that? You see that yellow bar? Does it say anything? Is that an H or something? What does it say? I don't know. All I know is it's broken to shit. Anyway, you play Fallout 4, you don't have that barrenness. You have things to explore. It's actually fun. It's broken, don't get me wrong, but it's not always broken. But like, I feel like I have to explain that part. I feel like I have to explain that, right? But like, here's the problem. If you put out quality of games for $70 and they're barren like Starfield is, no one's going to want to play that. No one. And then your game's not, it's only 2 years old. It should not be this barren. There should be DLC. And then they put out the DLC. Oh my god, the DLC, right? They put out the DLC, and the DLC is even worse. 5 hours of gameplay, and it was shit. Everyone was saying, this is shit. There's no excuse. And what I find to be absolutely hilarious is everyone knows this to be true. Hey, JT says 1989M. Not only is it annoying that the game quality is very below average, but also arrogant as hell that the game studios charge as much as they do for a game that they know is shit. Yeah, and then there was I guess what I'm trying to say.
A consequence of being mechanical in nature.
You're fine, Donovan. You're fine. Now here's the thing that really irks me and really gets on my nerves. Can you all stop talking? Thank you, Ada. You've said that like 800 times. We get it. I know your dialogue options are limited because Bethesda couldn't give you more things to say. But like, shut up, okay? We'll avenge your fallen comrades, I promise. Anyway, here's the problem. Sorry. I'm still getting into character because I still love this game regardless, right? Here's the problem. Starfield is only 2023. It's 2 years old. It's barren. The DLC was inexcusable, right? They charged $70 for that. It's worth $40. Starfield is a $40 game at best. At best. No. Yeah, at best, I guess it would be $40, right? Because I would actually say lower than that. I like $30-ish. I've seen simulator games that have more potential. Schedule 1 was $20. $25, something like that. That game had so much more going on in it than Starfield, which was $70 and an expansive fucking universe, okay? Like, you could travel through the universe, you could build your own starship. The only thing Starfield brought to the table of genuine quality was building your own starship, and even that was buggy as fuck. Bethesda. Todd Howard, if you're watching this. Pete Hines, because you know you're responsible for half this shit. It is 2025. If Elder Scrolls 6 is as boring and disgustingly below average as Starfield was, you need to close down your studios or sell your studio to somebody else who can do the job right. Because Elder Scrolls 6 is the most longest awaited game of all time when it comes to Bethesda games. I would say GTA 6 is the #1 game that everyone's been waiting for because it's been insane that 10 years, 12 years, 13 years will have passed by the time that game comes out. And people are saying if it does not sell like the sumbitch we know it needs to be, that's it for Rockstar. Bethesda is on the same boat when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6. If they did not sell, Skyrim literally sucked your dick. As far as quality, it was the most amazing experience you could have. Oblivion was really good too, okay? If Elder Scrolls 6 does not ride you like a maniac and make you very happy to be a man in this day and age, I'm giving sexual puns here. The point is, if that game is not god tier amazing, that's it for Bethesda. Brings us to another problem now, right? Starfield is $70. It does not in any way justify a $70 price tag. It never has. It never will. If you were retarded enough, and I'm not saying this is an insult, because we all had no expectations. We never thought it would be this bad, right? If you were retarded enough to have bought the $100 version to get the season pass with one DLC. They're saying there might be another DLC now. I have my expectations are through the floor. I'm expecting dog shit at this point, okay? I'm expecting Todd Howard to take a picture of his dog's shit. Hey, dog, take a poop. Pacheek! Takes a picture, uploads that file, and when you play the DLC, all you get is that image. That's what I expect at this point. And it's like not even good quality dog shit picture. It's like 480p at best. Like, it's really bad quality. Like, this is not okay, Todd Howard. What the hell is this? That's what I expect from the next Starfield DLC, right? If you were stupid enough, no offense, to buy the $100 version of the game, okay. Now, Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4 is over here saying that they're going to charge $80 for their game. Borderlands has always had more going for it than any Bethesda game, okay? Because Borderlands has a bigger community, it's a lot more active, there's multiplayer, all that shit. And Fallout 76 is not multiplayer. I mean, it is. But that's horse shit. That entire game's existence is a lie and bullshit, okay? Borderlands has had more going for it. It would almost justify it. Almost. But here's the problem. There is no such thing as a game that is worth $80. I think $60 was the highest they should have ever gone. Ever. Because $100 is already 1/4, about a fifth, okay? Maybe a fourth or a fifth of the actual price tag what most people are paying for these consoles. Most people paying between $380 and $400. Most people paying between $380 to $420 per console. So you're paying about a fourth of the console for one game. You're paying more for the games at this point than you are for a working console, because a fourth of a console is ridiculous. Like, I think games should... How do I word this? I think games should not be allowed legally to be more than $60. Based off the economy we have, the actual value of the games, the fact that they're going to shut down half these games and delist them anyway. That has been a thing more and more, by the way, that they're delisting games and shutting games down. If you're going to do that ever, then these games should never be worth $80. Because $80, you should own the damn thing. They say you're not paying to own a game. You're paying to have a license to use the game. Well, if you're paying $80, I would expect that is a long-term investment, because that's a lot of money. Even for people who have a lot of money, it's still quite a bit of money, considering how often are you going to play these games? You're going to jump onto a game every single day for the rest of your life, playing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? No. You're playing for these games, if you're a streamer like me, 6 hours a day. Okay, and that's a lot. That's already a lot. But it's not enough to say it's worth $80. Because Starfield was worth $70, and that game was barren as shit. And it pisses me off, because I really do think that games should be valued. Do not get me wrong, but that's not what we mean. When we say we want them to be valued, we don't mean charges $80. I mean, they should be something the developers actually put time and creativity into. They press the bar. They make, they take risks. They try new things. And they try to make it a fun experience, not see how long they can hook you in. I mean, you want them to be hooked in. Don't get me wrong. But, like, if you're going to have people play a video game, you want them to feel like it's fun, not like it's a grind. Why was GTA 5 so good? Because it brought a lot of people to this game, and it was a lot of fun. Why was GT Online, on the other hand, complete dog shit? Because it was nothing but a grind. All they cared about was your money. They don't care about the game they give you. They just care about how much money you give them for it. And ensuring the game has no actual appreciated value. And I think that's the problem with all games nowadays, is that $80 should not be allowed legally. I think we should boycott games. Play the older shit. Only pay the minimal you can. I mean, let's be honest here. We're paying $20 for Game Pass. Half these games on Game Pass aren't even worth the money. Like, I swear to God, Assassin's Creed Shadows. A D-Chat said it was propaganda. That's the best way to describe it because it's all cutscene. It's true. I'm gonna do it. We're not doing a full playthrough of that game. Fuck that. But we will play the first 6 hours for a couple of streams. And I'll show you just what kind of bullshit this game really is. It's not a good game. It's all propaganda, all kinds of... Look, in feudal Japan, we wanted everyone to be gay, so we lied about what it actually... We said it was historically accurate, but they're all gay now. Like, who... Make up your fucking minds. And by the way, anything that... any developer that shoves gay shit into a game, just so you know, that doesn't make it worth more money. It doesn't not worth more because it has gay shit in it. It's almost like you don't want us to buy it. I'm really trying to express this absolute disdain. Do you want us to buy your fucking games or not? Don't be like that one cocksucking piece of shit from the Borderlands developers who's like, if you're a real fan, you'll make it happen. No, if you're a real fan, you'll love the game and realize sometimes it's good to let go. Like, let's be honest here. Like, who the fuck wants to just dish out? Like, I know Nintendo wants to rob its audience blind, okay? That's because Nintendo's been doing that because that's all they do is rob their audience blind, okay? They have never had a fucking sale because, let's be honest here, they don't think they should ever have a game on sale, right? Just because Nintendo does it does not mean that we should. Okay, this is the analogy I'm going to give, okay? A bunch of people are at the Grand Canyon. People start jumping into the Grand Canyon without a parachute, okay? And no bungee cord. They're just jumping to their death at this point, right? Just because they're doing it, does that mean that you should? Do you want to live, right? In this day and age, I'm going to ask everybody the ballsy question about $80 games. Okay? In this day and age in America, you are being forced to choose between rent and food. Because food costs way too damn much. Like, I have to eat this shit. It's too fucking expensive. But you have to choose between rent and food. If you're lucky enough to have options for money, I'm scraping to get by, and I'm making hundreds of dollars a week. If you're scraping to get by, okay, you might be okay. You might be okay. But you're still being forced to choose what's more important of the two because you know at some point you're potentially going to have to get rid of one. Thank God rent's only once a month, right? Food, though, is every goddamn day. If you don't eat, you'll die. If you don't have shelter, you can't get anything done. You're screwed. You can't get a job half the time. If you're being forced to choose between those two things as it is, in this economy, in this day and age, why are you gonna pay almost $100? Actually, if you count special editions, it is $100 for games that aren't even worth your money. Why would you pay for games when the necessities are already ridiculously overpriced? Donald Trump fucked this country straight up the ass when he did these tariffs. Because instead of the economy becoming nice, everything became more expensive, and the only people benefiting are the rich. Obviously, we can't afford games because the majority of people who play these games are people in the lower working class. Because video games for the rich, I don't think that shit exists. Because when you're richer than shit, you're out partying, drinking booze, fucking bitches. Let's be honest here. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not focused on games when you're loaded. You have so many cooler things to waste your money on. So it's meant for the working class and the poor. That's why we're over here all playing video games and the world doesn't give a shit about us because, let's be honest here, we don't even take it seriously after a point. Why would we waste our money on games that realistically aren't even affordable? The guy who runs the Borderlands department, whoever the fuck the developers of Borderlands, that CEO guy, is a fucking retard. Because if you're a fan, you'll make it happen. Right. If you're a true fan, you'll know sometimes it's good to let go and let it die. If you love them, you'll know when it's time to say goodbye. Really, that's the truth of it. And what I find to be irritating is that games are meant to be fun, not a grind for your wallet. Fuck you, Borderlands. Fuck you. And now, in closing, I can tell you this is probably why I've never played any of the Borderlands games ever in my life. Because the developers are fucking retarded. And I hate to sound like an asshole cussing nonstop. But let's be honest here. I love video games. I love what these things have brought me. If it weren't for video games, I don't know if I'd be on this earth still, because I was in a very dark place in my mind at one point. And playing video games got my mind off of it. I want to see games succeed. But let's be real. If you love these games, you'll know when it's time to put your foot down. Because let's be honest here, the guy who runs Borderlands needs to be slapped in the face. Because no normal human being is that fucking conceited. Anyway. This OJ is fucking delicious, but way too fucking expensive. I just paid for a gallon of orange juice. You know how much it cost? $15. No cap. No cap. $15 for a gallon of orange juice. Mostly because of taxes. Or whatever the excuse was for charging $5 more than it was. Base price? $10.99. $10.99 for orange juice. Donald Trump, are you fucking with me right now? Are you clowning? Like, what the hell? Because $10.99 for orange juice, plus the fees they charge on the side, which is just stupid. You want to explain to me why in any reality orange juice costs $10.99 and we're supposed to pay $80 for a fucking game? Yeah, fuck that shit. Quality points as usual, JT. It's still shocking me that in the 2020s we are seeing an actual war between the gaming execs and their consumer base. It is vital to hold the line at this point. I don't think we should give in. I think we should hold the opinion. Should we put our foot down? I think we should boycott games. I don't know what that means. I mean, on one hand, I think that it would be fair to completely... Everyone puts down the console for a while. Everyone, including me. I love these games. They're the bread and butter of my channel. But if you want this to go away, you need to be a cunt. Because let's be honest here. These developers aren't, these executives, whatever the hell we're going to call them, the CEOs, right? They don't care about you. They don't care about the consumer. All they care about is all this DEI crap and overpricing everything. Like, we can't put gay shit in video games, we're going to charge more than. You notice that was actually a thing. That's actually a thing. First thing that they did was, hold on, let's play the games. We got like some backstream shit going on. Let's go find a location real quick. First thing that they did was jam DEI garbage and everything. Everything's gay now. Everything's trans and gay stuff all the time. Okay, fine. They did that. There's not much we can do about it because we're not executives. We're not game developers. I find it weird that all the game developers caved to that. We have to get this checklist. What happened to making games fun and cool? What happened to giving us a worthwhile experience? Instead, what they do is they do this checklist. Okay, we got gay stuff, we got trans stuff, we got black people, we got race swapping from white to black. It can't be white, can't be straight, can't be cool. Okay, it's got to be this weird Gen Z dog shit brain rot crap. Okay. Checklist all of that. And also, while we're doing all that, we forget to make the game fun. Starfield. Shining example. They managed to put pronouns in the game, but everything else was barren. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Get Game Pass. Do not waste your fucking money on Starfield, okay? Because it's $70 if you buy it. Just spend the $20 for Game Pass. You get it on PC that way, or Xbox. Worst boys. If you're on PlayStation, you are fucked. Because Starfield's not for PlayStation. Okay? So this is for all the Xbox people out there. Get Game Pass. Install the game. Go through the character menu and then play 4 hours. That's all you will need to know how barren the game is. Just explore, too. Exploration should be fun, right? That's the whole point of exploring. And you will see the pronoun shit, but the rest of the game, barren as fuck. It is barren. So they jam all this DI crap down our throats, and they manage to forget how to make a fun game. Which, by the way, what happened? PlayStation 3 was literally the best era of gaming. PS4 was still fucking good. PS5 comes around, oh, we don't know what we're doing anymore. You ever think for a second... You ever think for a second that maybe, just maybe, these people forget how to make fun games? Like, it's really bizarre to me.
Excellent. I should be able to resume my duties immediately.
What the hell? It's really bizarre to me that they don't know how to make a fun game, but they can jam DEI down our throats. Then Donald Trump comes along. We're going to make everything way more expensive because tariffs. Fucking moron, okay? And I almost voted for this idiot, too. That's the funny part. Okay? I almost voted for this retard. So I'm like just as much to blame as anyone else. But like... Give me a second. As they beat the crap out of the robots. So, Donald Trump comes along, throws tariffs, makes something super expensive, but Donald Trump decides he's going to remove all DEI. Okay, so developers can't put DEI in games anymore because Donald Trump literally made it illegal. Which, by the way, I am 100% for. Fuck DEI. Fuck all that crap, okay? But then, he makes DEI illegal in the United States. It might be illegal everywhere because if you've seen Uganda with these people, it's funny as hell. He makes DEI illegal, so what does the game developers do? Well, we can't put DEI crap into it, so we're going to make it super expensive. I think there's something going on. I think there's somebody okay, conspiracy theory time. Everyone get your tinfoil hats. What the fuck did I just say? Get your tinfoil hats. What the hell? Put them on your head. Wrap that tinfoil at the top so it's got a little cone thing. Yeah, do what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Hold on. All right, got my tinfoil hat on. All right. Just play along, all right? I think that there's somebody at the top that is so angry about Donald Trump's decision to remove DEI because, you notice, they removed that, and they're like, the response is, all right, let's jack up the price then. Fuck you. We can do this shit. If you won't buy it the way we want it, then you can't afford it at all. I think there's something going on. I think it's been going on for years. Because, mind you, Watch Dogs, Far Cry 5, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 6, okay, Ubisoft in general, they all told us about this stuff before we ever saw it happening. Somebody was trying to warn us. Far Cry 5 is a shining example. There's a cult. It's taking over everything. And you have the option to fight back. That's what Far Cry 5 is really about. And then it happened. Because DEI, have you ever noticed that DEI feels like a cult? You never notice how trans people feel like a cult? You ever notice how gays, the way they behave, it's almost like a cult? The way they're obsessed with kids, the way they're attacking people over opinions, it's like there's almost like a cult mentality going on. Just like these games suggested. Now, why would the games tell us something and it comes true like that? Why are there so many games? All these games are talking about revolutions and preparing for this invasion. And then it happened. And it's scary because what if they knew? What if there was something going on all the way at the top and they were trying to warn us that somebody at the top is trying to influence this shit and that's why it happened? And then all this political shit, all the trans, all the gays, all the BLM stuff, all that stuff, all that anti-white rhetoric, all that empowering women but treating men like crap and making men feel like they're garbage. What if that was part of it? This means that the gaming industry was affected by this. And it would make sense because it destroys the world. It will affect the gaming industry after a point. And now the world is fighting back. Maybe Donald Trump is not a bad guy because getting rid of DEI was the first step to really fighting back against this. But you notice, right after they did that, they're like, well, if you can't do DEI in your games, then we're going to make it unaffordable. Which is what the elites are going to fucking do. You don't comply by their rules, they'll make it so you can't afford food. I just told you guys that I spent $10.99 on a gallon of orange juice. You don't get that many food stamps when you get food stamps in the U.S. You really don't. It's the same amount you've always had, but the food costs go way up. So how do you fight against a group of people that will not comply to your authoritarian behavior? You starve them because you make things unaffordable for them to have. You force them into a life of crime. That is what's happening. And what I think is really interesting is, what if this was always the case? What if people in the game industry knew? Because now, that was actually a point to be made. They removed DEI because it's now illegal, according to Donald Trump. They shut it all down. There's no more DEI. There's no more, you can't force trans stuff in the games anymore. And now, they're making games overpriced. Think about that. That is not an accident. Nintendo was the first to do it because they're the first to lose it. And now everyone's doing it. They're like, we're being told by someone at the top, and remember, these are executives making these decisions, we want to charge more. We won't explain why. I mean, you can't say because Nintendo did it. That's not a good enough reason. Because remember, if this is from the executives, it's going to spread no matter what. There's a reason why they're doing that. Why are they making games worth more when everything's already economically shit? Well, the reason why is because it's retaliation. They want you to cut your fucking dick off. They want to be weird with your kids. They don't want you to have a say in what they do to your kids behind closed doors. This is all part of a bigger picture. And what's really messed up is we are seeing retaliation. If you go against the system is going to make it harder for you to be a part of it. The gaming industry is unfortunately a part of that same system. So if you remove DEI, there's a very good chance that they're going to retaliate in some way. And here we go, $80 price tags. And trust me, it's only the beginning. Because this rumor has been around for a long time. Somebody, and here's another scary, fucking terrifying plot point, right? Somebody a while back said the games were going to go up to $100, which means this $80 price tag thing won't last. Because $70, they haven't even been $70 for a couple of years. They went from 60 to 80 in a matter of a couple of years tops. And someone in the gaming industry leaked this and said that GTA 6 is going to be $100. That means games are going to be $100 by the time GTA 6 comes out next year. That's next year. That's just next year. So you think about that, right? Really think about this terrifying concept. How did they know? How did he know that games are going to go up in price? Because this is what executives are doing. This was long before Nintendo did it, too. Which means somebody is pulling the strings. It seems to me that we have a real villain going on. We have to find out who this villain is. And we as a society have to kick their ass. The 1% must be churned on, because if we don't, it's all going to come down. You think the executives and the elites care about video games? No. They're trying to push it out. I know this because if I were a villain, I would do the same thing. I would do it myself. I've thought about these things in the past. If you were to completely want to eradicate video games, how would you do it? You would make people not enjoy it anymore, and then you'd find a way to make it so no one could afford it, and then nobody would ever have it. And by the time it's over, no one's doing games anymore. You've basically weeded them out. And then before you know it, games are dead. It's a scary thought, because you think it stops with video games? No, this is an attack on culture. All culture. That's what trans and gay and BLM and Antifa and MAGA was all about. It's an attack on culture. So, what's after games? Movies. Television. What's after that? Just in general, your traditions. What's after that? Your very way of life, your freedoms. What's after that? You. No one wants to accept that. No one wants to stand up to that. You're all pussies. Every fucking one of you are pussies. Because united, you stand. Divided, you fall. Your forefathers of this country told you about that so long ago. No one listens to it. The Americans in this country don't listen to that because they're too stupid. COVID-19 made people docile. Made them easy to control. Oh, you say put on a mask? I'll put on a mask. You say I get a shot that's going to infect me? All right. You say hate my brethren? Fine. You say ruin my marriage? Fine. You say sell my body for views? Do it. That's what they do. That's what's been happening. And what's really messed up is the games being overpriced. Sure, it's not directly tied to all that. It's just a stepping point for those things to become a thing. You think it's just video games? No, movies are going through it too. Movies are debatable. There's a lot of shitty movies out there. But you ever notice that movies force the same DEI crap down our throats, and now, after it's made illegal, they don't do it anymore? Notice that. How are they going to retaliate against movies? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Make it so no one can watch it. Because after they removed DEI crap out of movies, they made it illegal in the United States. I should pull up a camera and talk to you guys because I feel like I'm going to sit here for a few minutes. Whatever. You notice after they removed the DEI crap, movies got good. I Know What You Did Last Summer. A few other ones. They're actually doing a good job. They're starting to get creative again. Can't do a movie that you can do with a game, but like, still. Just slowly changing it. They're going to retaliate. I know this because they've been doing it. Somebody at the top is not happy right now. And here's where I think the elites went wrong. They did not bank on YouTube calling them out. Because there was millions of people on YouTube who criticized this and made a point of this. Why people are not standing up against it as much as they should be, I don't know. But trust me, if there's one thing I can say is that if we want to kick the asses of the global elite, YouTube might be the answer. Because remember that YouTube is their system. It's how they spread information. It's where all this kind of gets into the realm of trolls, unfortunately. Why are there so many trolls on YouTube? Well, think about it. They've been canceling every creator they can, looking for reasons to rise, spark hatred against everybody they don't like. Me, myself. Why are they doing that? That's how you control and gain YouTube back. You make everyone look like a villain, or a predator, or some kind of weirdo. People get uncomfortable watching that person now. And then before you know it, the elites have YouTube once again. Basically, most scumbags operate on Discord. The elites chose YouTube because that's how they get their information around. That's why YouTube is a conglomerate. If we rule YouTube, they lose. That's simply a reality. But that's why there's so many trolls on YouTube. You can actually extend this to other topics too, like why there's so many scammers. Well, if you're scammed out of your money, you don't have the money to stand up. You don't have the money, the finances to fight back. Why are they going after your guns? Because when they finally do take over and decide to go full fucking a la Hitler, you won't be able to fight back against tyrannical government. That's what the Second Amendment's all about. Every American's allowed to have a gun. Saying you're not allowed is violating your constitutional rights. Because when the government becomes tyrannical, it is not only your right, but it's also your obligation to fight back. That's why there's so many people trying to turn America into a cesspool. Unfortunately, it's working. Why do I fight back and stay on YouTube? Why do I refuse to walk away? Why do I refuse to surrender my spot? Why do I refuse to go and live a different life? Because if I run from this, let's say I leave YouTube and I go run away and live a different life somewhere else, I'll still be affected. Might as well hold my ground. People will come, they'll join, they'll sub, they'll become a part of the conversation. Maybe I'll pick up some traction. Trolls are mass disliking all my videos because they don't want me to grow. When your dislikes heavily outweigh your likes by like 1,000 to 1, which really is what it's been lately, that's because they're afraid that you might get traction, you might grow, and then people will agree with you. Why are they so terrified of me? They're not terrified of me. They're terrified of what I represent. All pedophiles need to die. We shouldn't sit here and be trying to normalize them, marks. And what's funny about that is that's just one of the many things I've said. Trans people should not be pushing this stuff on kids. It's another thing I said. Black people should be acting like such fools if they want such respect. If you want respect, act like an adult. Be respectful. Be kind. Try to grow your community something positive. A lot of them do that. A lot of things that I've said that people don't really like. Unfortunately, I've been right. And I think the problem with that is there's so many trolls. Because if people listen to you, well, that's more a problem for them and their boss. Who do you think lets them do what they want? Who do you think allows them to be here? Who do you think actually gives them the tools they need to do what they do? Who do you think lets them get away with it? Who do you think taught them this? Who do you think gave them the pamphlets? I've seen these troll pamphlets. If you dox somebody, make sure that your account's a throwaway account and no one can trace it back to who you are. Hide your identity religiously. When things finally get tough and people start noticing, bury it all. If you can't bury it, they lose. Yeah, that's a thing. There's actually pamphlets on this shit. Who do you think made those pamphlets? Exactly. Some asshole at the top. So, I do think that this gaming industry thing is it's the beginning of a bigger problem, if you want my honest opinion. But anyway. Let's see. Just thinking about the boycotting game stuff. I've rarely ever played anything for the longest time. So actually I've been boycotting them since high school, lol. Huh. 1989M says, spot on commentary as usual, JT. It's almost as if all intentional and deliberate. Too many coincidences. What's ironic is the gaming community has always been a haven for people who are different. It's always been a safe space for people in the community and friends. They look at it. They took it way too far. Well, they touched my video games, so we're going to call it personal. I think it's insane how many people are getting attacked for playing video games, too.
Picking up something. Here, over here. Target dead. Let's get
Although, if they're going to attack us, that means they see us as a threat.
Are you injured, sir?
If they see us as a threat, then that means we have something to actually fight back with. I don't like what's happening to people out there. I think that the way they're all this bullying and bullshit, I don't think it's right. But, you know. Sorry for taking the conversation in such a dark place. It's just we have to talk about it. It's the real world. We can't pretend like it's not going on. Let's see. Yeah, $10.99 for a gallon of orange juice. That's ridiculous. Wonder if I should put a timer for donation options. Streamers are often people who are taking those kinds of options, so I figure let's do a timer. Donate. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna put down the controller for a minute. Give me 1 second. Let's do 7 minutes. Sweet. All right, let's see. You see that right there? That horrifying blockade across the screen. We're probably going to play Mafia. I installed Mafia on my Xbox because my PlayStation is completely out of money. Therefore, I don't have my PS Plus anymore. I don't feel like having to go figure out how to... I had to buy groceries because I'm scraping to get by when it comes to food. Which is fine. I'll figure it out as we go. But, figured PS Plus can wait for another time. So I installed an Xbox. We're probably going to play Mafia on Xbox when we do it. Might be next stream because this game is slowly falling apart. It's like watching the Tin Man lose all of his metal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane to me. Also, I noticed trolls stopped coming to our chats. Kinda nice. Tucker Memorial Bridge. Donovan, you might want to get out of there, man. Are you okay? God damn, Donovan. You okay, Winter?
Being non-organic, these rats won't affect me. You, that's a different story.
I told you to get out of there, man. Alright. Oh, I fell. Shit. Oh my god. Dude, this is terrible. Like, what the hell? I'm just casually going to the wasteland, just playing it, whatever, though. Like, just, you know what? Fuck it, whatever. I can't wait till they update this game. When was the last update, though? Like, I feel like I should look it up. How long was it since the last update, and how long was it before that? Like, if it's a year, we might be done with this game indefinitely, because I don't have the strongest PC. So I don't see getting a PC as a viable option. You know what I mean? Like, getting a PC... Well, I have a PC. That's the stupid part, right? But my PC has, like, 4 gigs of RAM, I've noticed, for some stupid reason. Like, I have 8 on here, but only 4 are usable for some stupid reason. It's one of the Windows updates that they had, right? And for some dumb reason... I don't know why. It's like, we can't play Fallout 4 on my PC. Because we have enough space for it. We just don't have the RAM for it. And, like, I could afford new RAM, but that's going to cost me... Are you ready, guys? Are you ready for how much it's going to cost? $250 minimum. I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. It's just like, might as well buy another Xbox at this point. Like, realistically, $250 at minimum. It might be like $300-$400, depending on where you go, and if you have to buy a certain kind of RAM, and also the installation process, which I don't trust myself doing it. I will never do my own because I don't trust myself with it. I want to make sure it's done right so I don't F it up, right? But I'm like, you realize how much money that is, right? That's literally half an Xbox. So, like, I'm not doing it on a PC, clearly, is my point. If we can't play on PC, this might be our last Fallout 4 video for a couple of years. And what I don't understand is, like, why it's doing this. They also broke most of the mod support, too. Like, I found out that the reason when we go and we click on a mod in the mod thing and it takes us straight to the menu, it says the action cannot be completed. That's because that mod was broken by one of their updates. That is why that happens. Which is one of the scummiest things, is that they're putting out updates that break their game indefinitely. And they still haven't fixed it either. They still have not fixed that issue. Like, mods still work on console, and thank God the mods I'm using are working. But, like, in general, there's like, God, how much was it? Like, a few 100,000 mods? Or it was like, something like that. It was like 25,000 mods minimum, 100,000 mods maximum, that just shattered after that first update. And what I find outwardly disgusting about that is that you put out these games for people to enjoy. Oh shit, run. Run, run. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to do your quest. Okay, he left. Cool. But, like, the game is just vastly broken from their updates. Like, I don't understand how Bethesda could have a console come out, or a game come out, and they put out an update that breaks their game. Like, the update is meant to improve it. That's another thing I really think should be stopped. I don't think they should be legally allowed to change their game after it releases. I mean, DLC is one thing. Okay? If you want to update a game via DLC, like Fallout 3 when Broken Steel came out, right? Like, that makes sense. I think DLC is acceptable. But if you're going to change the game hundreds of times to the point where it doesn't fucking work after a point, right? I have a problem with that. I think some games, like live service games, it makes sense. 7 Days to Die did it fairly well. State of Decay 2 did a good job for the most part. But like some games, it just ruins the experience. So maybe they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
No more hiding for you.
That takes care of that.
I don't know. Just a thought. If they're gonna do it, maybe they should be forced to, like, make it doable, like make sure it works no matter what. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is some of this shit is bullshit, because they put out these Bethesda games, and Bethesda manages to break you with every damn update they do. Like, do you see that? You see that right there? That weird green, Ada, move your ass, that green shit over the horizon? That white splotch that this black guy is covering with his forehead. For the first time in my life, I'm happy to see a black guy block out the white. Just kidding. That was a super racist comment. But anyway. I just don't even know what to say at this point. Like, maybe what they should do is not have the problems be this stupid. Because this is stupid. I already got it. I mean, and the reason why I'm talking about this, just because I feel like I should put it out there, is not because I'm whining and complaining about games. I'm not trying to dog on the game. I'm not trying to be controversial. I genuinely think these are observations that need to...
Not much of a threat after all.
these are observations that I think the gaming industry needs to work on. Let's see. Guess we go East City Downs. I don't really know if I want to do that. Warwick Homestead. I crossed through Spectacle Island. Anyway. Like how Nightbots is blowing up our chat. Sorry, Donovan and Winter. I just saw that mine and fled. It's weird because you can barely see them. Which I guess is good because that's what mines are supposed to do, right? It's supposed to be hard to see. I really wish I could figure out what is causing that glitch.
If they're out there, we'll find them. Any idea where they went?
I can't see shit with the goddamn ocean glaring. Come on now. Alright.
I suggest we take as much as we can carry.
You'll run out of bullets at some point. In this, huh?
It's just all glaring in my eyes.
We'll emerge victorious.
You know what? At this point in time, I don't even care. I just want to be able to figure out why I can't see anything. The game has actually blinded me partially. I can barely see anything. Okay, you know, we're going to walk away from this one. The water is doing that. I don't know if it's going to get worse. Why are there Scotsmen in this game? I don't know. All I know is that right there is getting worse. It is actually getting worse. It's getting harder to look at. Like, my eyes are actually on fire right now. So I'm going to go this way. I noticed it's only the water in the game and hardcore. What is happening with the dirt on the thing? This game is falling. It's like GTA before every fucking update. Look at it. It's appearing. What is happening? What is this? Cum or water? I can't tell. What the fuck is happening right now? Like, I don't even know what is this Fault London all of a sudden? By the way, it's just a goal in the future. Yes, 100% a goal in the future. Yeah, they get a working laptop that can actually play it. But, like, dude, the fucking... Hold on, I'm going to have to pause. My eyes are burning. Like, it's actually setting my eyes on fire. What the fuck? Because I can't play this game if it's going to do this the whole time. It is getting significantly worse. And what's funny is, you know what those green blocks are? That's water. Check it out, watch. So any textures that have to do with water are glitching like that. That's also all water. So whenever you see those green blocks, that just means that we're seeing water. That's it. But it's that's also water. For some reason the deep ocean doesn't do it. I don't know why the fuck the deep ocean doesn't do it. Welcome to the ocean, everybody. Oh my god, it's getting worse. This game is getting worse. Some of the best stuff is in the water, though. Like, this is terrible. Look at, you see that little, look, okay, look, see right up there? See that roof right there? That's glitching too. Why is everything falling apart? Look at those windows up there. See how they're flashing? Why is it all falling apart? What the fuck did Bethesda do? This was their best game. No cap. This is their best game. And it's doing this, right? We should go play Starfield just for the sake of, just for the hilarity of what's possibly happening over there. Starfield's probably worse. I just don't even know what to say anymore. Oh my god. Okay. I'm actually pissed off because I was having fun exploring in the game, and now I just need a reason to go take a shit because this game is coming out like shit. Okay. I guess we're doing Mafia next stream. I'm probably gonna call it in a minute. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I'm gonna rant for a good 20 minutes, but give me a second. I it's about God is vengeful, and it's about this tear asunder this damn reality within Fallout 4. Like, I don't know what the fuck, man. I was having a good time, and God's like, let me ruin it for you. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I had to go leak. I would like to announce before we say anything that my ass hurts. I've been sitting here in this lawn chair for a couple of hours now, almost 3.5 hours, and just my ass hurts. I don't know if it's because my ass actually hurts, or maybe the glitches in the game are affecting my brain and affecting my ass somehow. I don't know. All I know is this game is some bullshit. This is one of my favorite games that I've been playing. In fact, this is one of our best playthroughs we've had. This is I think it's debatable. This is our best playthrough because we have never had on this channel so far. The closest thing that we've had is Far Cry 6 to this level of a playthrough. On my last channel, the one I gave up because my mom was getting harassed by trolls, right? That channel, we had Hitman last 40 episodes. We did 40 episodes of Far Cry. We did 47 episodes of Far Cry 3. We did 42 episodes of Fallout 3. This is probably getting back to that level of our playthroughs, which I think is amazing. To really be able to explore a game and have so much to do. And we haven't even begun playing the main story yet. That's the fucked up part. We haven't even begun playing the main story. I think this is one of those playthroughs that will go down in the history books as one of our best playthroughs on this channel. We are going to come back to it. I figured out exactly what to do to come back to it. I do not know. I feel like I should experiment with some stuff. Maybe see when there's an update coming. Look into the forums. I don't know. Because this also is very heartbreaking to me. I've been having a lot of fun playing with Winter and Donovan and Fred and even Ada, bless her soul. And I feel like this is one of those things that sucks on one hand, but it's also, we can't stop here. We have to keep going. You know? But I'm going to see what I can find out of how to fix this. The game itself. Maybe we'll have to start a brand new playthrough. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It does bum me out because I was having a lot of fun. But the game is actively falling apart, and it's getting worse and worse over time. That is not a mod. I have installed mods. I've looked at the mods. I've checked to see if the mods could cause issues. I've also experimented with removing the mods. It doesn't change anything. This game slowly is falling apart, and I don't know why. It breaks my heart because I love this game. To be fair, I've been playing this game a lot over the years. I know what this game feels like, what it should play like, and what happens when it's having a bad day. So at this point, I'm familiar that this is probably going to need a game update fix, most likely. Again, I'll find out. But that being said, I want to note that the sheer hilarity is I have never watched a game rapidly get worse with glitches and bugs and brokenness ever before like this. This is new. The only thing we have not seen is textures ripping away from their assets and floating around. Like, I don't see people with just hair walking around, for example, right? Like, it's you still see NPCs still intact and stuff, which is good. But this is definitely a texture problem, which, to be fair, Bethesda has a history of fucking that up. So, let's see. D-Chat says if you gotta call it and then call it, if you gotta call it, then call it, especially with this insanity now. Maybe we can lie and say, so part of the mod, LOL. We're playing the crazy mod. Yeah, I would, but that's just not how I do things. But what we're going to do, maybe this is a sign, right? Maybe this is a sign that we need to start playing actual playthroughs again. I mean, Fallout 4 was technically a playthrough, and I was planning to play this till the cows came home. But what we're going to do is we're going to play Mafia. Oh, no. Yeah, we're going to play Mafia. We should do the itinerary. Skyrim. But see, I feel like Skyrim is going to have the same issues. I just don't want to risk it. It's like, with Skyrim, we'll just wait on Skyrim, actually. But we'll come back. We'll play Mafia, and then we'll do Skyrim. How about that? So next stream, we're going to do Mafia. I already have it installed. Actually, let's get out of this game. It's just going to make me sad. Let me do a quick save. Let me do a triple hard save. Okay. I have Mafia installed. That is what we're going to play next stream. We're going to play it till the game is over. That is our goal. The reason why is it's a simple playthrough. It's a linear story. Should be a lot of fun. I've never played it before. I have no idea what this game's going to have in it. It's also Mafia. I mean, who doesn't want to play a game about the Mafia, right? So it should be a fun experience. This is also, I think, based off a PS2 game. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out, I'm sure. Should be a fun experience. That's what we're going to do next stream. And I will keep you guys updated on what I know about the Fallout 4 situation. If it does get significantly worse, you know what I mean? And if it's desired enough, maybe we'll make up for it by playing more Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas doesn't have these problems. Fallout New Vegas has never had these problems. In the 15 years that Fallout New Vegas has been out, they have never had the issues that Bethesda games have. It's because Obsidian made it, and they did it better. But it's going to be Mafia, then Skyrim. We'll see where we go from there. Yeah, sorry everybody. I was really kind of bumming this game was falling apart. But again, I've never seen this before, like ever. Like, I've never seen textures slowly fall apart like this. It's water textures, too. It's kind of weird. Let's see. So, Nightbot, you did an amazing job. I'm going to say thank you to Nightbot over here for a second real quick. I guess it's busy. Anyway, so I'm going to call it here, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Adios.